morning. This is JahLogic, and you're watching Good Morning Rant. And with me, I have my three co-hosts, Stephon.
Good morning. Good morning, good people.
Good morning, good brother. How you doing?
Bless.
All right. C.Dot.
Good morning.
C.Dot, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. C.Dot from Straight Up in the Morning, in case anybody's confused. And Mohammed Shakur.
Hey.
Good morning, good morning, good day, good morning.
Good morning, brother. AKA X the Great on CashApp. What's good, man?
But I did not realize the pick with the fist.
He just put that in Wednesday.
In case anybody's confused, this is the same Mohammed X Shakur from the chat, and also you know him from participating on Where's the Love, Rebuilding the Black Family Structure. And Mohammed, I'm hearing a little feedback on your end. Just a little bit. So do you have headsets? Can you plug some headsets in? Something like that? Because it's plugged. It's probably leaking back in. And we already got some chats. You already know. So we're gonna go to the chat room. Brooklyn Honcho, you're always good. He says, "What's up? What's up? What's up?"
Good morning, Brooklyn Honcho.
Yeah, good morning, Brooklyn Honcho. You know what I mean? Always good to see the brother. Twirl Talks Sports TV. Good morning, Ty West. That's the homie Ty West, Twirl Talks TV. You can definitely go subscribe to his channel for great content. And he also has a show on this channel as well. So yeah, you're ready. And DJ Dr. Hollywood, Wake, Bake, and Rant. Rand Rising. Salute, Mike. Yeah, man, you already know. I'm not waking and baking, but I throw my little tonic, my little infused tonic in my water. You know what I'm saying? So, Mills Lane says Rant is ran on. Salute, Mills Lane. Salute. Always good to see you. You had a great show last night. Definitely, check Mills Lane's channel out. You know what I mean, and check his show out. Let me throw that on the screen real quick. If you're confused. American Culture Topics. Definitely check Mills Lane out. His channel is just like it's spelled, Mills, Millz, Lane. And he has another show called The Lane. And 12 Toe Sports says, "Yo, geez, I'm trying to pop out your way this weekend, Jai. Yo, you already know the vibes. You already know I'm social distancing like a motherfucker, my dude. But we can figure something out, my dude. You already know. You the bro." Lorville in the league says,
"That's a hell no."
Right.
Lorville in the league says, "Y'all got Mohammed on the morning rant." Mind you, when y'all talk, when I talk, it distorts my joint, just so y'all know. But Lorville in the league says, "Y'all got Mohammed on the rant. This show about to be black, and more black." You already know, man. It's the Black Friday episode. You know what I'm saying? And Brooklyn Honcho says, if you're trying to kick knowledge, was a person. And J Cap says, "Salute to everyone. I'm tapped in." Salute, J Cap. Word. Good to see you as well. And Mills Lane said, Lorville in the league. Facts. I mean blacks. And 12 Talk Sports says, right? He's laughing. Yeah, we can work something out, man. But we can like sit 6 feet away from each other somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Y'all niggas already know I got COVID-ophobia right now, man. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Word up. But it's all good. That's the homie. So we work it out. But me and 12 Talk Sports got some business to talk about anyway. So we gotta figure something out one way or another. Steph, you back?
Yeah. I'm back.
All right, copy. All right, so with all that being said, oh wait, hold on. Got another comment popping. Lavelle says, "What up, C.Dot? But I thought you was on Saturdays only." Nah, she's not on Saturdays only. She's Saturday and Sunday because she's with the cast of Straight Up in the Morning. Let me throw that on the screen real quick in case y'all confused. Straight Up in the Morning. That's our weekend morning show from 11 to 12. Well, y'all gonna have to get a new picture then. That's the only part. Yeah. That's the only one I got. But yeah, she's from that morning show on the weekend here at the Rant Network. However, she does grace us with her appearance here and there. So I'm really happy to have her today. You know what I mean? I really appreciate you, C.Dot, for pulling up. And yes, today's going to be a Black Friday. You know what I mean? We got Mohammed Shakur in the building. And we got a lot of topics that are blackety black as well. So speaking of that, let me get one of them joints pulled up for you already. You know what I mean? Let's get it popping. But with all that being said, y'all looking forward to y'all weekends? What's going on?
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I have a 4-day weekend, so I'm looking. I gotta clean up though. I gotta clean up first, and then after I clean up, I need to enjoy. I gotta go get some propane for the grill because why not?
Right.
But other than that, I'm chilling.
What you gonna make? You gonna make some jerk chicken?
No, but I might now that you said it.
You know you got to season that shit the day before, right?
I know. So I wasn't planning on cooking on the grill till like Sunday or maybe Monday since I'm off. So I got enough time.
Yeah, you got to season that joint. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna miss Labor Day weekend, the Labor Day parade this year. Like that shit, this COVID shit is fucking everything up. Like usually around this time of year.
What happened? I said, "Yo, scary ass man. You all right, man? Go out there, bro. Do your thing."
Yo, Steph, they not having no fucking Labor Day parade with this shit. There's gonna be no whining on the Parkway. You know what I mean? That shit is not going down.
No parade, no Juve. And I'm kind of frustrated about that.
Yeah, none of that shit. That shit is not going down this year. We got a few more comments. I'm gonna read that before I get to the first story. Virginia Slim says, peace and good morning. Salute to episode 30. Yeah, episode 30. We in the building. Virginia Slim, good looking. And salute to you. Good morning to you as well. I'm really happy that we made it this far. You know what I mean? That's an accomplishment. This is a milestone episode. That's a fact. And definitely happy to have Mohammed Shakur here today and C.Dot, our special guest host. Our first story is coming to us from BET because this is Black Friday now. This is the Blackity Black experience this Friday. So we got the first article is coming to us from BET, and they're basically saying a new Jack City reboot is in development. And I know some people are probably gonna be excited about that. I'm gonna reserve my opinion to the end, but I'm gonna read a little bit of what they're saying in this article. According to Deadline, New Jack City is getting a reboot. The neo-noir crime film remake currently doesn't have a director attached to it right now. However, Snowfall's Malcolm M. Mays has been assigned to pen the script. New Jack City was originally released in 1991 and was Mario Van Peebles' directorial debut. And it was Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Chris Rock, Flavor Flav, Alan Payne, and others. And it stars those people, my fault. So y'all know in the morning I kind of skim over shit. But we don't really have to read this whole thing. They're planning on rebooting this joint, and I want to know how y'all feel about it, starting with C.Dot.
So it's funny you brought this up because right when you hit me up this morning, I had just saw it. So I was like, wait a minute. So a reboot, or are we using the same people? I didn't actually read the article, so I didn't know if they were using the same people. Like, is it going to be their processors? Like, is it going to be your sons? What are you actually doing with this? I actually wouldn't mind, but then I'll be mad if they fuck it up.
I mean, that's what any reboot, right? Like, they definitely can't fuck it up if it's a classic. But I don't know. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna reserve my opinion for end. But you have anything else to say about it?
No, because like I said, I didn't get a chance to read all the way through it. So if they do it and they fuck it up, I'll definitely be pissed. All
right, that's a bet. Mohammed Shakur.
Honestly speaking, I'm very much turned off about it. I'm wholeheartedly convinced that instead of constantly rebooting 90s and 80s films, they should honestly rack their fucking brains and come up with something more creative. This movie is definitely a classic. It definitely ties into what was transpiring from the late 80s going into the early 90s. It pretty much let people know what the hell was going on, at least to a degree. But yeah, I think they should stop trying to remake old stuff and actually come up with some original stuff.
Fair enough. Steph, you busy over there? You good?
Yeah, hey, listen, Mohammed, preach, man. I'm so tired of these remakes and reboots. It's like, damn, do you need writers anymore? Like, what are y'all doing, man? Like, come on, the same film. Listen, and I'm gonna keep it a buck because ain't none of y'all keep it a buck, and maybe it's because y'all from New York. That was not a classic. New Jack City was not a classic. It was okay. It was cool. I enjoyed the film, but I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a classic. It was an enjoyable watch. That's how I feel about it.
Steph, you should know that C.Dot is from Baltimore.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Me personally, I'm not excited to see a reboot. I have no faith in the reboot. However, I do hope somebody I know gets the job as the director. But I don't think they can reboot the story. Wesley Snipes died in this joint, as we know. The other motherfuckers went to jail. And yeah, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna like have some type of trap version of New Jack City. Like, first of all, that era is over. Niggas ain't making that type of money off of selling no crack no more and all that shit. Like that shit is over. That shit is dead. You know what I mean? So shit is gonna be trash, in my opinion. I think it's probably gonna be trash.
They might try to finagle it so it can try to be up to date and try to see how, things are going and try to put in a new drug game. That's why I said they could fuck it up. But if they're just rebooting it and just doing it with different characters, then it's like they're gonna fuck it up. But if they actually try to reboot it to how the world is right now, it might work. And that's a big might.
Okay. All right.
I don't think it is going to work at all because it goes back to what Logic had pointed out. Like nobody's really making money in the drug game, specifically off of crack, and the fact that they're saying it's in development right now. So it's September. We're in the middle of a pandemic. How in fuck's name are they going to be able to write something remotely good about the drug game in 2020? Or at least something that takes place along the lines of between 2019, I want to say 2021, because I know it's going to take some time to actually get something written down. So the only way they can actually make that movie work is if they really take it back into the 90s. And even then, I don't think that's possible.
All right. I see some valid comments in the chat. So
How about say?
Go ahead, Steph.
Nah, and how many more crack movies do we need? How many more crack drug dealer movies from the 90s do we really need, though? You know what I'm saying? We got enough of that.
That's a fact.
Like it's like we got a whole pandemic going on. You can't make a modern movie about what's going on currently, what life is like nothing going around inspires you.
But we've had movies about what's going on now before what's going on now was happening. So how many more movies of those do we need?
No. I'm talking about living in it. Like just living in it. Like make a film about whatever it be, but just in this doing whatever that is in this time frame.
Nothing.
I guess they're gonna have niggas. I mean, if I had to say they was gonna make it good, they would have to make it about niggas selling all types of drugs for one. They would have to throw the gang element in there. So instead of CMB, they're gonna have to be on some gangs that we know. You know what I'm saying? Can't have no corny ass made up drug gang and all that shit. And I don't know, man. And the streets is on fire, so I don't think we need a movie to fan that though. Like especially like the streets is on fire right now. You feel me? The streets is niggas is wilding right now. So I don't know what they expect to accomplish from this shit neither. So but don't get me on the soapbox. But I don't know. This is the Black Friday, so you know what I'm saying. I might could get on.
I was just about to say, yeah, get on your soapbox, nigga.
Where is Steph going? Where you going? You just out in these streets.
He about to go. He on his Miss Ravioli this morning.
Right.
Yeah, he looked like he taking his wife to work.
All right.
My sister with me, man. We going down to St. Augustine.
Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. What's up, little sis or big sis?
She can't.
Right. Yeah. All right, so let me go to these comments, man. Let me see. Yeah, Louisville in the league says fact. Create something new. Damn it. And Virginia Slim says it'd probably be trash like the Superfly reboot. Yeah, Superfly reboot was garbage.
Thank you.
Garbage.
I'm sorry. I need to speak on that right quick. I was completely turned off when they did the Superfly reboot because they got old boy looking like a fucking weirdo, like a goddamn metrosexual. That's one, and two. It's like the whole premise of the film. Like it took place in the 70s. It was basically about a brother who was obviously a pimp. And keep in mind, I'm not glorifying that culture. I'm not glorifying what happened during the 70s, but it was a testament of what was going on. Plus, it was a blaxploitation film, meaning that it was a bunch of black people who got together and said, "Fuck it, we're not gonna go to Hollywood. We're gonna create our own shit, even if it's in our own backyard." From a creative standpoint, I wholeheartedly respect that. But for them to try to remake it, they did remake it and have it take place in 2016, 2018. That shit was trash.
Yeah, I mean the blaxploitation era was a double-edged sword though, and it did start with us doing our own things. I mean, even speaking of this film, this guy who made his directorial debut, his father is actually the father of blaxploitation films.
Respect.
Yeah, he actually made a film called Sweetback Badass, and that shit kind of birthed black exploitation films. And once it birthed that genre and the industry gave it that term, that's when it got diluted and used for negativity. So,
Logic, what you trying to acknowledge?
yeah, you told me to get on my soapbox, so I'm getting on my soapbox. But let me see. What's the worst reboot you ever seen though? Like, what's the worst part 2 and/or reboot have you ever seen?
It was a reboot that shouldn't have been made. Honey 2. Honey 2 should have never been made. Honey shouldn't have never been made. And it was just awful. I was like, why would you do another one? But reboot, as far like that they brought back at the year,
Either or.
21 Jump Street was pretty bad. The original one wasn't that good either.
Steph, what do you like?
All right. All right. So hold on. C.Dot. Worst reboot and/or part 2.
I can't think of reboot right now, but part 2 was definitely Belly.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth.
Definitely Belly. Like
part 2 was the worst film I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I was like, why? Why did you even do this? Who allowed this to happen?
Hey, but it's a story about that because that wasn't supposed to be Belly 2. I think some execs, the people who would put money into it, they was like, we trying to get some attention, so they made it Belly 2, although the movie was never about Belly. But now I think about it, State Property 2 was terrible. The first one was dope. The second one was trash.
Mohammed, same question. Worst reboot and/or part 2.
Honestly, unfortunately, I can't think of a reboot off the top of my head. But as far as like sequels or part 2s, State Property 2 and Belly 2 is definitely trash. And funny enough, I remember that there was some promotional that had came out a few years ago. I want to say 2011 or 2012, where it kind of looked like they was gonna do a remake to Juice. But thankfully, it turns out that it was actually a publicity stunt. It was fucking Soulja Boy who took the picture in the likeness of Bishop and tried to make it seem as though he got a movie coming out. When really, I think it was some kind of mixtape. But yeah, State Property 2 and Belly 2, them shits was trash. Those are the only things that come to mind. And if there are other part 2s or possible reboots as far as black films is concerned, I'm pretty sure them suckers suck as well.
House Party 4. House Party 4. Oh man, I was about to let IMX slide right by and not get an honorable mention. No, that was trash.
I was not even gonna mention House Party 4, but
nah, but yo, you're right. You're right. I'm glad you did that stuff. You on point for that because House Party 4 compared to 1 and 2 was like just disrespect, sacrilegious. You know what I mean? But you know that Chris Stokes nigga was behind that, so you know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Let me see. All right, here we go. Kalila. Good morning, Kalila. Good to see you in the chat as always. She says, "Good morning, fam. Good morning to you. Always good to see you, Kalila." And I gotta make sure I put the say it like that because I gotta make sure I say it right. Kalila. All right. Laurel in the league says, "Get Out." The movie was a classic. Make another classic. Yeah, no doubt. I feel you on that. Kalila says that's going to be a jacked up New Jack City. what they going to sell? Some girl and boy? I think that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be selling heroin and cocaine, and you know what I'm saying? They're going to have to be selling Molly. You know what I mean? Somebody young going to have to get robbed for a pound of weed. This shit's going to be trash. This shit's going to be trash. And it's not going to have no real message. You know what I'm saying? All it's going to do is make niggas want to go out there and fucking be, fucking a new version of the CMB boys and all that dumb shit. So shit's going to be trash. And I bet you they're going to put one of these trash ass rappers in that shit too. They're going to pick a whack nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hop in that shit and do a cameo.
Oh, for sure. You already know. And I was going to say, as far as New Jack City is concerned, whether people agree or disagree or not, there actually was a message in that particular film. And in fact, there were a ton of messages, and it all plays out. One, I mean, you can't really trust your boys because Nino did, smash his right hand man's girl. That's one. Two, the ending film. I'm just gonna bring up two. The ending part where the old head, he actually showed up in court and shot Nino Brown. And then of course, the last one, which was the message that actually came out in the end. There's too many goddamn Nino Browns in the hood.
All right, I'm gonna get ignorant real quick. You never smashed one of your homies' girlfriend?
No, that's against the rules, man. I never did nothing like that.
Mohammed?
No. I refuse.
I guess I'm a grimy ass nigga there, man.
No, so question reverse for me, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
I mean, if you didn't know no better when you... I'm sorry.
No, just sometimes stuff happen.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, like, honestly speaking, if you were younger and you didn't know no better, then I mean, yeah, we can give you a pass. But if you were within your right mind, you old enough to comprehend right from wrong, you just decided you're gonna do it anyways. Yeah, you a grimy ass nigga.
Nah, fuck that. Sometimes you gotta save them people from themselves, man. You gotta let them know, man. This person's for the streets,
right?
You know
you smashed them while they were still together. Oh, you trash. Logic is trash.
Oh shit, Logic, me and you trash because I did the same thing.
We trash.
They was together, and I was like, you know what, this nigga ain't shit.
And it's sad because unfortunately it's too much of that shit going on nowadays. Like, you got so-called friends and so-called siblings that want to prove to they peoples that they respective mate isn't trash, so they gotta smash them.
Like my nigga Ghostface said. He said, "I only did it just to show you she's the easiest bitch." Steph, go ahead, Steph.
Yo, C.Dot, you talking about something, nigga trash. You talking about you trash, but your legs was up in the air behind your legs behind your head. Talking about some this nigga ain't shit.
I ain't say it went down like that. I'm saying his face is
y'all delusional, man.
Hold on. You ain't hear she say ain't go down like that. She said his face was in the plate. Hold on. You take it too long. I'm gonna tell you my story now. In my case, in my defense, and this is my defense, right? All right. Homeboy told me he wasn't with shorty, and we was young. I ain't gonna front. We was younger, but I asked the nigga, even though I knew, because females gonna tell you the real when your nigga lying and shit, and he acting all tough for the homies and shit. Nah, that ain't my girl and all that shit. She told me the real behind the scenes, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude be telling me he love me and all this type of shit. So I asked the nigga. I pulled him to the side. I said, look, man, is this your girl? You know what I'm saying? And he lied. He said, nah, it's not my girl, all this other shit. So I hit it. And then I told him afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean. I saved him from himself.
No, you didn't, Logic. You broke his heart. What is that? What you tell yourself to make yourself feel better about being trash? That is a trash move. You just trying to, yeah, I just helped the homie out. You didn't help him out. That was very self-serving, sir.
I mean, I told him. I ain't had to tell him.
Why you act like why do niggas act like the truth is noble? It's not. The truth is a blunt instrument that can be used to hurt. Why do we act like that?
C.Dot.
You was hurting him.
C.Dot, did you tell her?
No.
C.Dot know she trash too.
I am. It's fine.
All right, we went on a little tangent there. We went left. You know what I'm saying? We went left, but I felt that was an opportunity to get some good stories. And I told y'all I was a hoe when I was young. I told y'all that. I told y'all that previous shows before. Like I was, you know, yeah, slinging.
We learning to the extent of your wholeness.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Virginia Slim says Steph rocking AirPods, Beats, and old head Bluetooth. And Brooklyn Hunter says, I would have appreciated a new Jack series instead of a remake. That's a good point. That's a real good point. I definitely probably would appreciate a series over a film, a second version of the film. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea because a lot of the characters can get fleshed out. It can bring forth interesting storylines or at least interesting side stories to the overall storyline. And I think the message would most certainly get across as far as like, you know, understanding black on black violence and how drugs pervade the community and whatnot.
Did Mohammed just say black on black violence?
Yes, so-called black on black violence.
Nah, you said you ain't say so-called the first time, nigga. You said black on black violence.
Yeah,
I'm
and I'm correcting myself. So-called.
Nah, I'm going to edit the correction out of the show.
I'll forget you on that.
Mike says, Grand Rising, beautiful people. Salute, Mike. Grand Rising to you, man. Redemption says, salute all. Salute Redemption Song 76. Always great to see you in the chat. Virginia Slim says, peace of redemption. Exactly. And Redemption says, they need to leave this alone. That's a fact. And hold on, I kind of skipped over a bunch of comments. My bad. So I'm going to go back real quick. Jay Chancellor says, most writers fail to transition the content of a reboot to modern day material. That's a fact, too. They always try to do some fake nostalgic version of like the era the film came out in the first place. Like, and if they do that shit in this era, that in this film, then that's even going to be like extra trash. You know what I mean? If they try to like recreate the late 80s or whatever, early 90s, that shit gonna be whack.
But look, they tried to make. I've seen the Gotham series. Like they were trying to make it take place back in the day, but motherfuckers had cell phones. I'm like, listen, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed Gotham though, but I feel you. I did notice that. You know what I mean? I did notice that shit. They was like on some fake ass, you know, back in the 60s shit, but they had all the modern technology and the modern guns, and yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
All right, this is where the nerd in me comes out because as far as Gotham is concerned, with the whole Batman storyline, like anybody who even took the time to read a comic would know that the entire city takes place literally in the 1930s, 1940s. So, like to try to call themselves trying to modernize it, it makes no sense.
Facts. Mills Lane says New Jack City is just about undercover cops. That story never goes away. All right, I accept that. And everybody's saying what's up to Redemption, as they should. And Redemption Song say he's talking about what's that shit the Super Part 2. Yeah.
Superfly.
Yeah, she said he did look a saucy metrosexual. Horrible. And Lord Lee says Queen and Slim was a trash movie, but the movie was good. But the movie
they described it perfectly. The movie was trash, but it was decent at the same time. I don't even know how to make sense. Like the whole story film, like she's a lawyer, but you decide that we should run for our lives. Like, what sense did that make? That was stupid. But the film did take made some intimate moments and some heartfelt moments or whatever. But the actual storyline was stupid.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as Queen and Slim is concerned, that shit is definitely trash. To me, it's nothing more than black trauma porn. Cause it's like, you're watching a black man, a black woman, they go out on a date. Next thing you notice they come across a police officer, everybody feels some type of way. The officer dies and then they run. And throughout the whole entire film, we all hoping, or at least some of us who actually watched the film, all hoping that this brother and this sister gets away, only to get shot down and get betrayed by other black people. Like, that shit is just trash. It's like they tried to make it into a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing, and the story behind that was also kind of funny in and of itself. But yeah, we need to stop blackwashing white ideas, if that makes sense.
All right. Looking Honcho says Steph Leonard Fournette. Steph, did you hear that? I know Steph is he's driving, so his connection is getting a little choppy at this point. Did you hear that, Steph?
Yeah, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What about him, man? He going to Tampa. I ain't a Jaguar fan no more. My little cousin got drafted by Tampa Bay, so we Tampa Bay fans now.
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats.
Virginia Slim says they'll probably cast some British people instead of Black Americans like in Queen and Slim. Yeah, that's a fact. Redemption Song says the Wiz live action musical. I guess she's saying that was trash.
I don't know. It was pretty good.
You seen it on you seen it? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. It was because everything now they're just trying to take stuff from back then and trying to modernize it a little bit and make it more to the time that we're in. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't horrible.
I ain't watched that shit. I'm done with the ease on down the road shit. I'm cool. I'm cool off that shit. You know what I mean? I'm cool. J Cap says worst part 2, Belly 2. That's a fact. Mike says if John Singleton was still alive, he would have made a magic. Facts. I mean, I would have to give him his props and say probably, but I mean, I just don't see what unless they, like Brooklyn Honcho said, unless they make that shit a series, I don't see what they can do with a New Jack City Part 2 as a film. It just don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Honcho said State Property 2 was pretty bad. That's a fact. Laura Vanelli said Shaft the reboot was trash. I mean, I watched it. It was trash. It was trash. It was trash. Virginia Sim says How High 2. I didn't even watch it. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it to myself. I'm not watching.
Don't do it to yourself.
Nope, don't
do
You
it.
ain't got to tell me twice.
Don't do it. Once you saw the trash ass rappers on the promotional, that should tell you right then and there, don't do it. And if you dumb enough to actually do it, I feel for you.
I mean,
you know some foolishness with little. I was gonna say, some foolishness when you see Little Yachty and DC Young Fly. It's like, come on, man, what are we doing here? We didn't ask for this. We didn't ask for this. We asked for Method and Redman, who were promoting How High 2 for years. For years. And then y'all take their film.
There we go. His rant just got cut short. There you go. Go ahead, come on now. Fuck that wild.
Somebody else? Oh, damn. The man didn't want me to tell y'all. The man didn't want me to give it to y'all like that, man.
All right.
Don't get too activated while you driving, man. You got to be safe.
Yeah, man. I mean, I had too much love for How High 1 to even look at Lil Yachty play any of that shit. Mills Lane said, "Why Did I Get Married 2 was trash." I don't remember if I seen that. I feel like I would have. Go ahead, see.
Wait a minute. So that's like, look, raise my hand, like, hey, me. I thought that was pretty good. I guess it got a little much once, they got divorced and Jill got remarried. But I didn't think Why Did I Get Married 2 was trash. Janet went off. It was a good time. Maybe because I was looking at it from the other side. Let them women get their shit off. Whoop his ass. Beat his ass. Break shit. Let's go.
Yo, I thought it was a quality film. I thought it was one of his better, Tyler Perry's better films. Honestly, I didn't think it was trash. I thought it was better than the first.
I have to agree. I have to agree. I will say, out of all the Tyler Perry's collection, Why Did I Get Married and Daddy's Little Girls, those are like my actual favorite films, mainly because of the fact that it actually did paint men in a completely different light. Which, you know, Why Did I Get Married? You got both sides of the spectrum as far as marriage is concerned, and not only that though, you got different varying perspectives as well from Michael Jai White's character, who, you know, was with a whole nother woman, even though he has a baby mother, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, those are actually pretty decent films. I will say part 2 was a little over the top, but it was still good.
All right, let's get through these comments. Redemption Song says Christopher Williams looking like a crackhead these days. Lord Vanderlee says, now I've smashed my enemies, girl. I've done that too, my nigga. I've done that too. Yeah, that's a fact. And Twan says, you ain't shit, C.Dot. That's Twan, aka Twan Kaz from Straight Up in the Morning. And I'm sure they'll talk about this on, you know, their latest show, their show this weekend. Mills Lane says, Redemption, he's dreaming, just let him sleep. And Mike says, Logic with the Birdman hand rub plot on his man's girl.
Hey, but you seen that bar they just slid in there? Don't wake me, I'm dreaming. That New Jack thing in there, they slid that in there smooth as hell.
That's Mills Lane.
was, I put that.
That's Mills Lane with the bars. You already know. And Mike, listen, man, I didn't plot on her. You know what I'm saying? Just in that time period in my life, I just wasn't in the the habit of turning down pussy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't turn it down. She came at me. I asked the homie, I said, yo, man, is this your thing? He said, no. All right. So I took it down. Twan says, anybody that's eating from C.Dot's plate has been poisoned. Oh, these strong words for your plate, C.Dot. You want to say something about that?
Of course I do, but that's all right if they poison. That's why they keep coming back. And you've seen my shows. You've seen my shows, on. You know. You've heard.
Hey, addictive. It's addictive. It's a drug. Twan says, and death is near. Oh, man, come on. Lord Vanderlee says, hold up. C.Dot, so he only ate it? That's it? What the fuck? He feel bad for the nigga. Don't feel bad for that dude.
That was his main purpose. Look, he wasn't shit in the beginning. It's like I knew he wasn't shit. And then she was talking about the head. And I was like, well, I can get it too. I mean, I gave him some eventually. But, you know.
So he was just a mouthpiece, basically.
Pretty much.
I respect it.
Twan says,
She just said, I gave him some eventually. We just gonna slide past that logic. She just said she gave, after saying he ain't get the vibes. Oh, but I gave him the vibes. Come on, fam.
I said that was not his main purpose.
Girl, nigga.
No, actually I wasn't. I wasn't. He wasn't all that here. He was just good in other places.
That don't mean nothing. You got me talking like J-Dot this morning. You got me talking like J-Dot this morning. It's ridiculous,
that
man.
Means a lot.
And
the only reason I gave him
I don't be caring about looks.
Say it again, Steph.
Y'all don't be caring about looks. Y'all be seeing women. I'm saying women don't be caring about looks for real. Y'all be seeing something. I don't know what it is, you see, but y'all be seeing something else.
All right, hold on. Let me let's get to these comments. We definitely got some more stories to get to. And Twan said, Ja, you are foul. Nah, man, I'm telling you, I just didn't turn it down. I asked him, he denied. I took it down, and then I told him. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Anyway, Sleazy Aki is laughing because he knows it's true. That's the homie. Twan Kaz says C.Dot is fine with being one of the biggest pieces of trash walking. Strong words from your co-host from Straight Up in the Morning. Virginia Sims says the truth is a blunt instrument that is used to hurt. Bars from Steph. Twan Kaz says don't touch New Jack City. Sweet D says, good morning. Good morning, Sweet D. Good morning, Sweet D. Brooklyn Honcho sing, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black. I'm black, y'all. I'm biggity black, blacker than black. All right, now we're going to get to that. Redemption is laughing. Twan says, sir, put your hands on the damn wheel. And then he says it was trash.
Mind your business.
And Redemption says, laughing out loud at Ja on the ease on down the road shit. Yeah, I'm cool off of that shit. I'm cool for that. And Virginia Slim says, I'm glad we didn't get an annual slave movie this year. Yeah, you know, that's a good point. And Kelso, what's good, boy? He says, top of the morning, good people. Good morning. And Twan says, shut up to C.Dot, I assume. And Brooklyn Honcho says, smash that like button, people. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave that right there until I see some likes go up. And I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna go to this next story. So that if you just come into the show, we're talking about the New Jack City reboot that's been confirmed. And I think the general census is we can do without it, unless, like Brooklyn Honcho said, unless it's a series. If it's a series, yeah, maybe we can fuck with it. But a movie, 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna fuck it up, and nobody feels like getting their childhood fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because most of us grew up with movies like this. So speaking of film, we're gonna go to another film, and we're gonna talk about your man Michael Ravenport and John Boyega. I hope I'm saying his name right. And so the likes got up a little bit, so I can take that down. Salute to y'all for clicking the like button. And John Boyega going at each other on Instagram, I believe, or Twitter. And Michael Ravenport said he should be grateful for Star Wars. He's telling me he should be grateful for Star Wars. And first of all, I want to mention that shit on Michael Ravenport's lip. Got some shit on its lip. Words, bars from How High. Matter of fact, let me blow it up. Y'all see that shit? I mean, and you know what? It's not that I hate Michael Ravenport that I'm gonna do this, but I think Shadow and Ack is throwing real shade at this dude right now by using that picture. And this nigga's really at the Tribeca Film Festival with some shit on his lip. What the fuck are we doing, Michael Ravenport? What are we doing, my dude? Like, come on, my dude. Like, anyway, so we're gonna read the article, and like I said, this comes to us from Shadow and Act. And if anybody's not familiar with Shadow Act, is a website for basically ran by Black people and talks about, you know, Black business in the film industry. And salute to Shadow and Act. They showed my movie Love Once Upon a Time. Pseudo Love. They gave me a review, and it was like for one of my films, and they said some shit like it was. They gave me like a 50-50 type review, but I appreciate any reviews on the film. Anyway, so they say John Boyega is taking Michael Ravenport to task for trying to white-splain his experience as a Black lead in Star Wars. Boyega has explicitly talked about his experience in a new interview with British GQ, saying that Disney didn't know what to do with him as a Black actor within the Star Wars framework. So they quote John saying, you get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring a Black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up, he said. And then they also call him saying, like, you guys know what to do with Daisy Riddle, and you knew what to do with Adam Driver, you know what to do with these other people, but when it comes to Kelly Marie Tran, when it comes to John Boyega, you know, fuck it. He says, he continued by saying, so do you want me to say what they want you to say is, I enjoy being part of it? So, he basically saying, do you want me to just say the cliche response, which he's not going to say? And he said, nah, I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. So then Michael Ravenport decided to holler at him and say, it was time for Ravenport decided it was time to chide Boyega for speaking about his specific experiences. Ravenport, a white actor and comedian, will never have because of his race. And he goes, John, yo, my man. I hate when they say, yo, my man. Yo, my man, you've done so much in a short period of time. Congrats. But you ain't the first actor to have an unnuanced character in Star Wars, in a Star Wars movie, he wrote, referencing to Benicio del Toro, who starred in The Last Jedi. And then he says, welcome to show business. Shit doesn't always go your way. And homeboy clapped back at Michael Ravenport saying, did you read the article? And then he also told him, thanks for adding names to my list, though. And Ravenport replied, he did read the article, and he reiterated his opinion to what Boyega experienced was just show business. And he tells him things don't always work out the way you plan. He continued to say, happens to all of us. Again, Be grateful for all you've done so far. Is a lot more than tons of great actors of all races who also have roles cut down and will continue to. And Boyega replied, no, with a smiley face and said, thank you. So they continued to go in, but this is not a gossip report. I just think that this brings up a valid conversation about the dynamics of race and show business and, of course, mainstream media. So I'm gonna go to C.Dot. What's your take on this scenario? Homeboy is saying that they market him as this black character. They got people up in arms of having a black character, and then he basically didn't have much of a role, is what I take from it. And Michael Rappaport, of course, is saying that's show business. What's your take on that, C.Dot?
Well, I get where Michael was going, but he completely missed the mark. He was talking about black actors. He was speaking upon his experience as a black actor, and Michael took it as, oh, well, that's what everybody does. This happens to everybody. No, but as a person of color, it happens to us more often. It's like we can't get certain roles that Michael can walk in a room and get. We would have to be interviewed 3, 4, 5 times maybe. And especially with Disney, because from my experience, it's like Disney doesn't really hire black people. I don't remember. I heard it. Don't quote me. I don't know where I saw it. But they say Disney doesn't really hire people of color like that for certain roles. That's what has been said. So Michael should have just minded his business. This didn't have anything to do with him. This was black business, and he should have just kept his mouth out of it. And that's why they put the picture of him with the herpes on his face.
Yeah, they definitely did that. Mohammed, Shakur, your thoughts?
I have to agree with what C.Dot is saying as far as like the whole entire situation. Rappaport has definitely been took the time to white-splain, and it's clear that he's just another one of those white people who just don't comprehend the black perspective. As far as John is concerned, I mean, maybe he should have done the necessary research to see what would have happened as far as his role is concerned, because I know actors can do that. They can actually get a whole lot of insight before they actually do sign up to be particular characters. But unfortunately, the way show business work is you think you're getting put onto something good, and then come to find out you're not really getting put onto something good, especially when it comes to black people is concerned. I can't speak for other persons, so-called persons of color, because I don't give a fuck about them. My main concern has always been black people.
Copy that. Steph, thoughts?
Oh man, I'm so glad. I don't like Michael Rappaport. I have been feeling some type of way about this motherfucker for years. He does this often and acts like, oh, because I fucked a black girl too, I'm part of the culture. You not, bro. You not. He a leech. I don't know why black people fuck with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I did a couple black film. No, you just eating off us, man. I can't stand him. Oh, I don't see what.
So
He's not that
I don't
funny
even
either.
think he's that good of an actor. He's not funny at all. He never makes me laugh.
Yeah, he
Nothing
trash.
has ever said has ever made me go, ha ha, oh, you funny. I'm sick of this dude, man. What's up, nephew?
I
But
mean,
yeah,
well, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
that's it, man. Like,
I know you don't like him, but can we hear a little bit more about the be objective about the subject? Yeah, give us.
all right, listen, this is typical Michael Rappaport shit, not understanding what the fuck black people are talking about. He got into it with Meek Mills about like, yo, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You out of pocket, white boy. You don't know what you're saying. Again, you not. People can be around the culture and still not be of the culture.
Mm.
And this is the perfect example of Michael Rappaport. I ain't gonna be before y'all long. I must say I got to hop off.
So
Steph, right quick, I was gonna say, as far as Rappaport is concerned, the only role I liked him in was what's the name? Higher Learning. That was the only role I liked him in, because, well, I
He was a
mean,
white supremacist. And he
yeah,
played his role.
and blew his fucking head off. That was the only role I liked from him.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I hated that fucking. I just didn't like to see that shit go down like that. But every time I watch that shit, no matter how many times I watched it, I just can't get over that. But yeah. So I don't hate the dude. I'm glad he made the Tribe Called Quest documentary. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed that. Really, I enjoyed that a lot. The Tribe Called Quest documentary. But I agree with C.Dot. He he had a point when it comes to actors goes. Like, yeah, actors get shitted on all the time. Like, you know, this is show business. But he totally missed the mark when it comes to like she said, to take C.Dot's words. He did miss the mark because he wasn't talking about just being an actor. He's talking about being a black actor. And there is a reality to, as a black actor, it's a totally different game. So it's a totally different ball game. Yeah, the game is, you know, show business is fucked up, but it's even worse, you know what I mean, to black actors. They don't even let, you know, a certain amount of black actors be successful at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Rappaport is a comedian, so he should know even as comedians, they definitely don't even let a certain amount of comedians win at the same time when they're black. So he definitely should have just kept that one to himself. You know what I mean? I know he's very vocal online, but sometimes you just got to know when to shut the fuck up. Or else the motherfucker's going to put your herpes picture up on one of the most popular black blogs. You know what I'm saying? But
not to cut you off, Logic, but to piggyback on what you were saying about how, you know, a certain amount of black people could be famous or can get the spotlight for so long. I remember growing up during the 90s, there was a shit ton of black films and black shows that came out, and like there was so many black actors and actresses out, I couldn't even name them all.
Yeah, but that was when it was cool to pay motherfuckers pennies. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know all that, so thank you for putting me on.
Yeah, now, you know, motherfuckers is like, yo, you gonna pay me pennies? Like, people got shit to say about that. You know what I mean? So, you know, but now it's like, all right, well, if we gotta pay them, we only gonna pay one of you. It's like they had a budget. It's like they had a budget the whole time for the black actors. It's just the higher the amount they started paying black actors, the less black actors you see at the same time. You feel me?
I got you.
Yeah. So Redemption says herpes. And Virginia Slim says Michael Rapp ain't been relevant since Higher Learning. And Brooklyn Honcho says, is that a trigger finger or Twitter fingers? Let's bring celebrity boxing matches back for real. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I would definitely be down to see. I mean, they different in age, you know what I'm saying? So, but maybe there's a black dude closer to his age, you know what I'm saying, that wouldn't mind, you know, fighting dude or whatever. And like I said, he's done
Ving Rhames.
Yeah, you know, but he's done some notable things that I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? So I don't hate the guy, you know what I'm saying? I don't hate the guy. I just think that he definitely should have picked this time to not talk. Shouldn't not talk this time. And Mike says token. I guess he's the token white guy in certain films. Jason King. I liked him in Bamboozle. I like that role. Jason King said, hold up, what I missed?
I hate Bamboo. I hated that movie.
Jason King says, hold up, what did I miss? You missed the fact that Michael Rappaport decided to come at Homeboy for expressing his gripe with the Star Wars franchise after working with the Star Wars franchise, and that apparently Michael Rappaport has herpes, allegedly, according to this picture. J. Cap says, I'm curious about what Billy D. Williams' experience was on Star Wars. I have no reason to think dude is lying. That's a real good point, too. J. Cap always with the good points, man. J. Cap says, it wasn't Mike's place to speak on it. That's a fact. Lord Gunnerly says, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. But yes, Billy D could have very much had a different experience, but understand, Disney owns Star Wars now. This is a whole different organization owning it, opposed to when it was John Lucas, I believe, who created it.
Yo, that's a real good point. And I don't know how many people know this, but Star Wars actually started as an independent film. He borrowed money from the banks and funded it with his own money. So yeah, and it turned into the franchise it is today. So once things go corporate, you know what I mean, things go white. You know what I'm saying? So you already know. Even though it was a white dude who already put it out independently, but I'm sure he had more power to do what he wanted to do then. Lord Velnali says, Mohammed, Michael played his true self in Higher Learning. Let's be real. And Mike from Boston says, fuck Meek Mill. Okay, Mike from Boston. Okay. Broken Honcho says, Logic, I see you really on some I'm going to take the higher road shit, shaking my head. Nah, I mean, on some G shit, you know, I'm speaking my truth. I do not hate this dude. Like I said, I like the fact he did the Tribe Called Quest documentary. I like the shit he did with my big homies from Boot Camp Click. You know what I'm saying? He did he helped. I think he helped produce and or act in one of the videos they had for Sean Price, rest in peace, after he passed. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I like some of the shit I know from him. I liked his role in Bamboozle. You know what I'm saying? I know he's the quote unquote token white for a lot of things, but I like some of the shit he did. I do. You know what I'm saying? But in this scenario, I agree with C.Dot. He totally, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get too comfortable with doing shit. You know what I mean? Let's say that. You feel me? You get too comfortable. If you're a vocal person, you're going to get too comfortable being vocal. And you're going to say some dumb shit every now and then. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of them times when this motherfucker was way too comfortable and he said some dumb shit. Now, I don't know if he's definitely got a racist mindset behind it all. I don't know him personally. You know what I mean? Or if he genuinely is not racist and whatever. But I just know that right now, you know what I'm saying? He said some dumb shit and he should have shut the fuck up when it comes to black issues in Hollywood. Just because you in black films or help produce shit with black people doesn't mean you can speak on black issues. You feel me? And this was definitely a black issue.
And I think, and I was gonna say, I think that's really just the main issue that I think a lot of us have with people like Michael Rappaport. They think some of them think just because they've been around us for a little bit long, or they've found a way to immerse themselves just enough to comprehend the culture just a little bit, they think they can speak freely on everything that pertains to us, when really that's not the case. They think they get it when, in all honesty, they just never will.
Right. And I'm not saying that there's a certain amount of time a white person can hang out with black people and be embedded in the culture. But I will say that I wouldn't say just enough for him. You know what I mean? Because he's an old guy at this point. It's been years since he's been, you know what I'm saying, involved in the hip hop community at very least. I'll say that, the hip hop community. And Jason King said, definitely shouldn't open his mouth to bash a black actor, seeing as he really can't even act.
I don't think he was trying to bash him, though. That's the thing. I don't think he was trying to bash him. He just he wanted to speak up, but he just missed the mark that it was a black issue and not an actor issue at the point. I don't think he was really trying to bash him with what he was trying to say. Right. But I agree with you, Jai. It's like, just because you've been in a room with us long enough, sometimes you need to pick and choose when it's time for you to say something.
Right.
Agreed.
That's a fact. And we got a special guest in the building. I'm gonna wait till he gets cammed up or whatever. He's camming up right now behind the scenes. But let me see. Jason King. Yeah, we read that. Kelso says, Rappaport is a habitual line stepper. I always love that line. With identity crisis. Hilarious. And he said, and he can't hit the blunt ever. That's a fact. Some shit on his lip, got some shit on his lip. And Brooklyn Hydra says, are you going to bring up the Rochester police shit? I am. We are. Hopefully we get to it all. You know what I'm saying? This is the Blackity Black Friday. So hopefully we get to it all. So, you know what I mean? Kelso says, it's a bad time for white men to tell black to just be grateful. You got to read the room better, man. That's a fact. And we got a special guest in the building. He's supposed to be here for a specific topic, but since he's on now, I'm gonna cam him up now. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know my homie MC Mighty Casey from Black Rapping School, from Crackhead Superheroes. Some of y'all like that song. We played that song on a few other episodes, and y'all said y'all like that song. And of course, his infamous spoof BET Uncut classic White Girls, you know what I mean, that everyone usually loves so much. My homie and friend and business partner at once upon a time. We made a film together. MC Mighty Casey, aka Casey Game.
What's going on, Logic, man? Great to hear from you. Great to talk to you. What's going on? S.Dotty.
That's C.Dot.
C.Dotty. What's going on, peoples, man? Mighty Casey and the police to be pleased to make your acquaintance.
And that's the homie. You might have met homie Mohammed Shakur before in the past. You know, the Street Smart Movement homeboy.
Yep. Look familiar.
How you been, man?
I've been blessed, man. Life is blessed. Life is blessing me, man. I can't complain with the cards that life has handed me. I'm just trying to play them right. I think I might be playing a full deck, but you never know. People be cheating.
Yep. And
that's what's up.
And Casey meet the homie Steph. Steph meet the homie Casey.
What up, Steph?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Chilling.
So we were just talking about Michael Rappaport talking that gangster shit about homie should just respect the business.
John Boyega, he should be grateful for his opportunity. That's something that white people always say to black people. You know what I mean? You're in the NBA, you should be grateful for that opportunity. Like, yo, John Boyega worked for that opportunity. He trained himself acting. He was in that movie Attack the Block, Killed the Star Wars. So Michael Rappaport just a troll trying to be controversial. Don't pay him no mind. If you don't feed the trolls, they'll go away.
So basically, he's just trolling.
Yeah.
I mean,
my bad.
Nah, go ahead.
Because I'm glad you said that, because Disney marketed him so heavy, like he had an essential role in the series.
Just I thought to make him a Jedi too, right? Like
everybody thought he was going to be a Jedi. White people were on Twitter outraged because they found out it's going to be a black Jedi. Like they were pissed. And then the nigga not even a Jedi.
Yeah.
What was he doing in that film? I ain't watch it.
He was a lackey. He was like a regular dude. He was a stormtrooper, but then he crossed the stormtroopers and joined the Rebel Alliance, and he got with Rey. So he was like the main Jedi, Rey, a little lackey. And he wasn't even that ill. You know what I mean? He was a little goofy, but he turned out cool. I use him in the Star Wars Battlefront video game. He's lit in the video game. Like he's one of the best players in the video game. So if anything, salute to Star Wars Battlefront and John Boyega for that.
Right.
I like the first two Star Wars. I didn't like the last one he was in. It was a little too weird, but the first two was all right.
So he was in 3 Star Wars?
Yeah, the last 3.
Oh, all right. So, Casey, I got you here for a specific story.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait.
But before we get to that story, you know, me and you know how to like end up rub shoulders with, certain people that people think are celebrities. So you met Michael Rappaport before, right?
Yeah, you know what? I flew out to LA for the Beats, Rhymes, and Life premiere, the Tribe Called Quest movie, because I'm a huge Tribe Called Quest fan.
You interviewed Phife Dawg for that.
I interviewed Phife and I interviewed Rappaport, but the Rappaport interview was so trash I never put it out.
Right. So rest in peace to Phife. Let's just
rest in peace to Phife. I've been blessed to interview Phife Dawg and Charlie Murphy in my career as a Radio 1 journalist and blogger, 2 of my heroes, and I got to actually work with them and make content. And really blessed before they passed away. So yeah, rest in peace, Phife Dawg, one of my favorite rappers of all time. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy from one of my favorite comedic families besides the Wayans brothers. Salute to the Wayans brothers too.
That's what's up. Quick question, right quick. Can you tell us what it was like to sit down and chop it up with Charlie Murphy?
He's so funny. It turned out he was a fan of some skits I was doing, and he was posting them on Facebook. Like we had a Jay-Z's Illuminati skit with my man Cactus. And you know what I mean? We had a little skit and he posted it. So I knew his publicist. So I invited his publicist. Publicist was so cool. And I told him straight up, like, yo, I'm going to be a goofball. I'm going to do this in character. And he played along so well with it. Like, it was like we knew each other for so long because he just has such great comedic timing and chemistry that even why he could get along with my dumb ass asking really stupid questions. So working with Charlie Murphy was amazing.
Yeah, you definitely asked him some dumbass questions. But so I wanted to get to this one story while Steph was here. We lost him just that quick. Damn. So I guess fuck it, we'll still go to it. And if he pops back up, he'll know what to say. But we have Casey for the rest of the show. How about that? Casey, you sticking around?
Yeah. Let's go.
You on LA time anyway right now.
Yeah, so. I'll be up early though. I still be up on New York time, checking the news, getting everything. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's no cracking social life, so I'm not partying until 2 a.m. no more. So I'll be up early.
Ain't it? So, question: ain't it like 6 or 7 a.m. on your end? 7,
but I already been up.
Right.
I've been up like 2 hours already.
Okay, cool.
I was up at 5. I got some coffee early. I was watching The Boys on Amazon. That's my favorite show. I had to catch them. I was like, oh, I gotta get up, watch the shit that just came on yesterday.
All right, guys, we're gonna stick to the show at this point.
All right, let's go.
You can recap with him behind the scenes. All right, listen, we got a video clip from Joe Budden going in on Charlemagne. You familiar with this situation, Casey?
I know Charlemagne. I met Joe Budden a few times. I knew about the whole Spotify situation, and I saw the little clash they have about kind of like, ownership and being a worker. Almost similar to what Dame Dash was saying to Charlemagne years ago. So I'm familiar with the situation. I follow both of their careers. I'm a podcast fan. I'm a big Joe Budden podcast fan. And I check Brilliant Idiots from now and then. And the Breakfast Club got a good guest. I'll check for them. But I'm familiar with both of them. I've definitely had my own interaction with Charlemagne. Did I tell you my interaction with Charlemagne?
Yeah, you did. Save it for after this. Save it for after this.
All right.
So this.
I just got a quick question. How much coffee have you
Nah, I
had,
had a
or are you
lot of
always
coffee.
like this?
A lot. I had a big iced coffee this
Okay.
morning.
Okay.
I had to get up. I had to watch the boys. I didn't even know Logic was calling us. I'm on go.
Yo, but not for nothing. See that he don't never have to have coffee to be that hype. That's
Nah. But
Okay.
it's early.
But so Joe Buttons, he went on a rant, and I want to play most of it. But I don't want to play it all. It is like almost 10 minutes of a rant. But he basically has some strong words for Charlemagne, and this is his point of view. I guess Joe Buttons turned down a Spotify deal, and Charlemagne tried to chastise him for it or something like that. So let's hear his take on it, and then we'll speak about that, since we are on the topic of black people in the industry getting slighted.
Charlemagne, let me help you. I know that you have this healthy obsession with me. I know that you think we are competing. You might also think that we're fighting the same fight. You would be sadly mistaken in all three of those. This goes back to the Breakfast Club interview with Dame Dash. And he tried to tell y'all, but it went how it went when you're trying to explain something to people who just cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
Charlemagne, you're not going to get it because I own this. My most valuable, my most powerful, my most accomplished asset, I own it. Ownership. You see all these black people running around preaching ownership. There's a reason for it. You, my friend, work for iHeart and have for 10 years. I came in here one day and said, yo, Stephen A. Smith got 10 million a year. I see him on everything. He's doing the finals, Sports Center. He's interviewing athletes. He's fucking talking to Max. He's talking to this person. He's got a radio show. He's doing everything in the world. 10 million? Well, yeah, when you don't own some shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got that part. But let's zero in on what it means. Charlemagne, you broke an entire radio station. Number one, morning drive. 10 years in a row. I asked him when I spoke to him, do you think you're paid properly for the work that you've done? How much y'all make up there? You ain't got to answer it. You don't have to answer it. I know, y'all know. Go to sleep and think about it. But 10 years at number one, breaking a radio station, breaking a network, because it's iHeart.
Right.
They also have a podcast division. See, Charlemagne, for me, Joe would never do that because it signifies conflict of interest. Whoa, the radio has a podcast department. No, I'm out of here. I only thought the Spotify shit would make sense because they were fighting with the labels. Let's get them some money and see what they do with it. We synced it. Now we know. And I'm coming back to tell people, like we've done historically. This has always been who we have been. I see people saying, there go Joe burning a bridge again. There's oppression on the bridge. Years ago, I was like, yo, why Cap want to be in the NFL if the NFL is wild? They would have to make changes first. And that's what he ain't in. He ain't trying to be in. He's still trying to affect change on the outside. I cannot have somebody with a voice as powerful as you just be misinformed on shit. 10 years, y'all number one. How are you paid? I'm listening to your fucking ads. We're not having the same fight behind the scenes. It looks the same, but it's not the same. Don't be fooled by the cross streets. I'm walking this way. You started your YouTube page in 2019 of August. I'm behind the scenes saying, no, you cannot insert SAI into 400 episodes of back catalog. You cannot ruin user experience this way. Know why? Because it's fucking mine. And since you don't understand that, Charlamagne, let me paint a different example for you. Let me come to your house every day and paint over 400 of your favorite sneakers. A different paint every day. Would you let me? You? No, of course you wouldn't let me fucking do that. It's silliness. I'm on the phone with Charlamagne listening to my brother fight for oppression. It don't make sense. And he don't even see it still. It bothers me when I have to waste time to turn around and explain some shit to somebody that's right. But fine, let's do it. Charlamagne, they ushered your ass right out of the HBO doors. Why? According to you, for something you didn't do. That's oppression. That's what happens when you don't have your own. We're not fighting the same fight at all.
All right, so the rant, like I said, is a little long, so I don't want to play it all. If you want to find it, I'm sure you can watch the episode or the clips are out there. And if you're a member of the Ranters Union Facebook group, Steph posted it on the page. I'm gonna start with Steph because I know we don't have him for too much longer. But Steph, explain what we're watching. Explain your take on it.
Oh man, this is real life cloth talk, man. This is one of them situations where you got an employee that can't comprehend when someone trying to do boss shit. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to explain that to you, it'll never make sense. Like you're in a comfortable position, and even though you are in a big position, which Charlamagne is, which with a lot of influence, like dude, y'all been #1 for 10 years, and you don't get paid what Howard Stern gets paid. And no one, y'all don't think that's a problem? But and the reason you think they should be quiet is because you're quiet. You know what I'm saying? You think because I'm just dealing with what I deal with. No, you don't need to deal with that either. But you don't even see it. Hold on. Hey.
Yeah, baby girl back there. It's all good. We get it, Steph. We all got feelings. Casey, I know you got insight on this situation and opinion. You want to tell us what's your thoughts on Joe Budden's, stance?
It's real complicated, you know what I'm saying? And with Dame Dash and the kind of, boss versus worker mentality, like Joe Budden was a worker before too. He was a worker when he was at Def Jam as an artist. He was a worker on Love and Hip Hop. He elevated through his own persona to get ownership. And once you leverage building a platform by yourself, as you see with him and DJ Academics, you can be in a position where you can have a partnership and not be a worker, which is ideal because I've been on both sides. Like I've had a full job working for Radio One, getting all their resources, getting $50,000 a year salary, getting expenses and all that without having ownership. You know what I mean? I put out a lot of articles that I don't have ownership for. So I've been on that side, right? But I had money. I had a salary. I had expenses, you know what I mean? And then I have my own startup, which it's not like when you be a boss, it's a risk and it's not a guaranteed thing. It's not like you just say, I'm going to be a boss and start my own business and then boom, it's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people need to realize, like, before you be a boss, you might want to be a worker for a bit. You know what I mean? You might want to learn the business. You know what I mean? You might want to intern. You might want to be an associate. And then when you have all the knowledge and you worked your way up through the organizations, boom, boss time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Joe Budden has done. He's worked his way up. And I think what he's saying is Charlamagne has worked his way up as well, but he's not a boss. Mm-hmm. And like DJ Envy said, DJ Envy has got all sorts of crazy cars. His family's paid for, doing all right. He's cool with that. And some people are. Some people are cool being workers. You could be very rich as a worker, and it's less risky. If you're a boss, you could be very rich, but you could also fail. You might not have income coming in. You might see your friends not support you. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a job, you got a steady paycheck. So it's both sides. There's both sides to the argument. But I feel where Budden is coming from, and that Charlamagne has put in enough work, made enough connections, and done enough for the company. You know what I mean? Like once you do enough for your company, it's time to move on and start your own. It's not that own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and we've
Right.
seen that's how people do it. Like, you might start off as a radio personality, then you get your own podcast. You might start off as or do stand-up comedy. So I think he's right. And that Charlamagne should have never criticized him in the first place. And what he hinting at is, I'm gonna get into my interaction with Charlamagne. Charlamagne, you know what I mean? I've known him through the industry. He said he was a fan of my video White Girls, that you mentioned before, but then he was on a podcast talking about BET Uncut and other artists who was on BET Uncut, like Nelly and some other person, and myself, when he called my name, and he called out my name with rape culture, right?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I realized I did deal with sex in certain ways on that track, but I was doing it from a message of parody and satire, where I was satiring rape culture and misogyny and racism and such. You know what I'm saying? So I checked him gently on that. But of course, he's had his own allegations. You know what I mean? So it's like, and he's even on Twitter, he's done things that non-sarcastic or whatever might have indirectly contributed to quote unquote rape culture. So that's what Joe Budden was hitting at when he said the HBO thing, because he was pulled out of the HBO because of the allegations. I know some of y'all may be familiar with the Star Network, and he's had the woman who's accused Charlamagne of that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I get both points, man, and hopefully I can come back as a success story. You know what I mean? And be like, yeah, I did my stand, I did my startup. I didn't get no money for 4 years, but then billions came and boom. You know what I mean? But all I might even come back as a learning lesson, like, yo, I did my own startup, but I ain't do this right, I ain't do that right. So eventually I had to, you know, get back in the job market, get my job, and use that experience I had with my startup to leverage a job. You know what I'm saying? Because it's risky, bro. Like they saying that stupid ass Jay-Z song, you gotta risk it all. And that seems like a lot. Like, and especially if you got kids to feed, if you got this, that, it's like you might not even have the opportunity to be a boss because you might need that steady check. Because you can't have a month go by with no check if you got mouths to feed, school bills to be, rent, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, I really understand why they're workers. But and I think like one thing it is like you could work and have a side hustle that's your own, and then work to support your side hustle till your side hustle becomes your main hustle. But it's not. I think a lot of people think they can, because I see on LinkedIn, I see so many CEOs with no employees. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, say that one more time, because I think you're saying something I told Mohammed X Shakur in the past. Say
I see LinkedIn all the time, and I see a whole bunch of CEOs with no employees.
No, rewind a little bit before that. You could work to support your side hustle, bars.
Work to support your side hustle till your side hustle becomes your main hustle.
Aha. No
You know
doubt.
and that's what I did as a rapper. Like, I was a teacher, and I was going to New York, using the money I made teaching about studio time. And finally, I was getting big enough checks so I could support myself as a rapper for a few years. You know what I'm saying? But that's because it was my side hustle before. I was still teaching in schools while I was, you know, touring, doing college radio, going to LA for the summers. But that wasn't my job. I wasn't just a rapper. I wasn't a boss. You know what I mean? I had a record label, but that record label wasn't giving me enough money to leave on, let alone have some employees to pay. You know what I mean? I was hiring freelancers to handle all my business. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You gave us a lot to think about, and I think you made a lot of valid points. And in some cases, you took the words out of my mouth. Mohammed X Shakur, your thoughts?
Sorry about that. I was looking up Monique's comment on Charlamagne the God after the Breakfast Club, because what she said was very much on point about the type of person that Charlamagne the God is. Paying attention to what the Rant has said, you know, I gotta give credit when credit is due. Charlamagne been in this business for 10 plus years doing what he gotta do, but yet at the end of the day, he's still comfortable with being a worker, and he's, you know, it goes back to the initial conversation or the initial rant. He's trying to tell a boss how to move like a boss when he's a worker. That makes no sense. Let's see. Yeah, I just got to keep. I'm just going to keep this, you know, just that short.
Well, I can piggyback off of both points because he's comfortable with a worker, and maybe that's where he just wants to be. He's complacent there, so he can stay there because, like you said, everybody isn't built for the boss life. That's not for everyone. But I don't think that you should speak upon or talk to a boss when you don't really know what's going on, because he doesn't know the ownership. He doesn't know that because he's been sitting on a Breakfast Club and he doesn't own that. Right. He could work and then have his own. Like, I don't even know the Brilliant Idiots, how that works for him, if that's his or if that's the other guy.
That's Loudspeakers Network, which Combat Jack started. So it's not his network, but I'm sure he has a He might even have a stake in the network, but it's not his network.
See,
It's
exactly. So it's like he doesn't understand
Shout
because
out to Combat Jack.
just like Casey said, it's like with me, I still work, but I have my own podcast and I do straight up in the morning. It's like I'm keeping my job so I can be able to have that ownership. And when it comes down, my job pays for my side hustle until my side hustle can be the main point of income.
Right.
And Charlemagne hasn't gotten to that point yet, but he may not even want to.
Right.
You never know. He might be good where he is, but I don't think it's like if you need to speak, that could have been a conversation straight to Joe because him and Joe have this rapport. He could have spoke to Joe directly. He didn't have to bring it out there but then again, I think the way Charlemagne is like he did it for attention. I don't know, could just be me.
Right. I mean, he did say they spoke on the phone and he had to hear him, advocate for it. So I don't know what was public, what was personal. I know that I agree with everything y'all said. And yes, rest in peace and shout out to Combat Jack. And the homies at the and salute to the homies at Loudspeaker Network, which that's black. Is that black owned, Casey? Is the whole network black?
I believe it's Latino owned. And I believe it was. I think now. Well, Combat Jack partly owned it, so I can imagine, rest in peace, Combat Jack, that the ownership has gone on to his children, their stake. But I think it's Jonathan Mina is another person who co-owned it, who's a Latino. You know what I'm saying? So it is minority owned, and Combat Jack did, help found and start it. And he definitely did a lot for a lot of people who do podcasts today. And he's again an example of someone, when he first started, he wasn't making any money off it, but he had full, and then not only did he build his own network, but he built a network for other people, you know what I'm saying? Which is very important in terms of
well, Casey can vouch for me. I'm very bold when it comes to being independent. Me and Casey has sat in the office and been offered a deal before that I didn't take. So I'm definitely all for being independent and walking your dogs and making your own way. However, at the same time, it's not even the combat what I'm saying. I think I agree with C.Dot and Casey when you say that Charlemagne, like Michael Rappaport, should have just kept his mouth shut about the situation. And I will echo what I said earlier, which is sometimes when you're doing something over and over again, you can get comfortable doing it and then do it too much. So Charlemagne's job is literally to talk. You know what I mean? So eventually, and we know, like Steph can tell you, Steph does a show 2 days a week outside of this one. We do the morning rant every weekday. C.Dot, you do the morning show every weekend. Even before you were on the iRant network, you guys were on internet radio in Baltimore. Sometimes getting stories to talk about is like, you got to find something to talk about sometimes, you know what I mean? So, and Casey, you was a whole journalist at News One.
Yeah, every day you had to find something to talk about. And then every day I had a comedy skit show, and every week we had to find something to parody, you know what I'm saying? So and sometimes, like I get it. People talk just to talk. That's what I'm saying. Trolls, you know what I mean? And people do it. And people like Charlemagne, Michael Rappaport, like they need to be mentioned. And there's no such thing as bad attention for them. So if it's something controversial, if it's something whatever, either way works.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the comments. And my homeboy Kelso, who I believe is on the same coast as you right now, Casey.
That's what's up. What's all right?
Yeah, he says, "Oh shit, white girls." He says, "It's a classic. I researched this brother. He's a true hustler. Had his video floating around the hood on VHS. You're a legend, brother."
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, salute Kelso, man. That's a good dude right there. And there was some Rappaport comments that I didn't read. And I put them on the screen, so I hope you guys forgive me because I'm not going to go back to the Rappaport thing. And Lower Lee says, "Coffee is a hell of a drug." And Kelso says, "I see you with the babies early this morning. Respect, Steph. King shit." And Slim says, "I must have missed it. What did Charlotte actually say?" Charlotte McGay, in the words of what's my nigga name? What's my son name that hang out with Boosie?
Goddamn Webby.
Webby. That nigga had that drop. He was like, Charlotte McGay. I mean, no, Charlotte. And Soldier Boy, of course, called Charlemagne Charla a bunch of times when he was up. Basically, Charlemagne was just trying to criticize Joe Buttons for not taking the deal, which that's none of his business. Basically, that's to sum that up. Brooklyn Hunter says Joe letting them know that instead of applying for, he could have been hiring. That's a fact. Lord Vanna League says Charlemagne is a weirdo, is a worker. He can't understand. Also, Spotify gave Joe Rogan $90 million for his deal, but promised Joe Budden some Rolexes. Chill. Crazy. Kelso says Charlemagne ain't black ownership equals house nooker.
Yeah, I was gonna say to tie into that, I actually found the statement that Monique said to Charlemagne, because what happened was they done did the interview and they were on their way out. Monique was thanking everybody but Charlemagne. He was wondering why he wasn't getting thanked, and she said in reference to the movie Birth of a Nation, "You're that guy that walks his wife into the plantation to be raped."
Steph was trying to say something, but it got cut out. But hopefully it'll come back before we move on.
My bad.
Kelso says anti-black ownership. That's what he meant. Anti-black ownership. When he says Charlemagne equals anti-black ownership equals house nooker. J-Cap says, great point, speaking about how Charlemagne did Monique Mohammed. And Mills Lane says, Charlemagne sits next to two real estate side hustlers that know any day he could be fired or leave. That's a good point. Angela Lee is a boss.
Yeah, she has a juice bar, right?
Yeah, me and Tech from Smith & Wesson took my son to the juice bar last time.
Shout out to Tech for being in the Super Cat video. You seen that?
I didn't see it yet. Nah,
yeah, Tech's in the new Super Cat videos. It sounds like a 90s Super Cat song, like it was on Don Dada. And Tech is just pulls off like some bad mind with Super Cat by the mural.
Yeah, I gotta holler at Tech, man. You gotta put me
tell him I said what up.
Yeah, you gotta put me in some of these videos.
Yeah.
Angela Lee is definitely a boss, and DJ Envy is definitely in the real estate game. I don't know to what extent, you know what I mean?
DJ Envy in the real. Well, what DJ Envy did is a DJ, you kind of do own your own thing. So DJ Envy just used the platform of the Breakfast Club to blow him up, and so he's getting like 50, 100K just to DJ. You know what I mean? So that's one form of ownership that Charlemagne doesn't have. He can't go to a club and get paid as an independent contractor $50,000, $100,000 for 4 hours just to spin some records. So that's a big part of how Envy made his money, is using his job to give him a bigger profile and using that profile to make money independently.
All right.
It's funny you also mentioned that too, because going back to what Charlemagne the guy said, I remember when he called himself beefing with Birdman, aka Baby, he tried to calm him down and say, hey, I'm just a radio guy. I'm just a radio guy. And it's funny how he said that, to try to call himself trying to like cop a plea, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting how those words ring true even to this day. He's just a radio guy.
Doing his own podcast. I'll salute him for working with Combat Jack, because sometimes everybody else want to be their own boss and they want to work together with the people. So you have one boss here with a podcast, one boss here with a podcast, but there's no network to get ads, so no one's making money. So I'm not really knocking Charlemagne for working with Combat Jack, you know what I'm saying? Because he's helping build a black-owned business in that way, you know what I'm saying? And not everyone is built to be a boss, and that's okay. Bosses need workers. If everyone's a boss, how's anything going to get done? Because then nobody's workers, and people need to be workers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people need to be radio hosts. Not everyone's built to organize and distribute their own podcasts. Like, some people need to be rappers and focus on their rapping and not be label execs. You know what I mean? Because it takes time, honestly. To be a worker and focus on your craft takes time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're a worker focusing on your craft, and then you need to focus on all the business stuff and be a boss in that way, something's going to get left out.
All right,
I think Charlemagne's attitude, I think that he is complacent in being a worker, and I think that's where he wants to be, because he can still make the money that he needs.
I'd hire Charlemagne, come work for MVJ and do my podcast. I would hire him in a second. He's funny. I'd be like, yo, you give your own skit show. Like, I would hire Charlemagne without no problem.
So one thing I wanted to say, speaking of that, is that some people also get stuck on a certain like style of living. You know what I mean? They live above their means, and then now they have to live check to check, even though they might be, at a certain level. J Cap says, he calls you on this one, Casey. He said is black owned, not minority owned. Laugh out loud.
I said minority owned, not black owned. And it is partly black owned as well, Loudspeakers Network, because Combat Jack did found it. He passed away. So I'm assuming that his stake and the company went to his wife and children.
Right. He said, laugh out loud. I know that trick. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Franchise Caterer says, Charlemagne got books, but they not good, but I brought them.
Me too.
And Jason King says, one thing Charlemagne does is play the fool in the way he acts, like the dumbest guy in the room. But if you pay attention to him, you will see what I mean. Yeah, sometimes you got to play the fool to catch a sucker. You know what I'm saying?
There's a saying, the wise man can play the fool, but the fool can't play the wise man.
Yep.
That's
He's a smart dude, and I feel like, and that's what trolls do sometimes. They'll play stupid to get a reaction, and that was their master plan. So they're not really the stupid ones. You're the stupid one for falling for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I agree.
To the story that we have Casey here.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got. We were speaking earlier today about sequels. We got Rachel Dolezal Part 2. Apparently, white U.S. professor admits she pretended to be black for years. Jessica Krog, if that's how you say her name, an activist who teaches African American history, writes Medium post apologizing for false identity. This article is coming to us from The Guardian, but of course you can find this article on a bunch of other sites right now. And I'm going to read some of the article. And this is the picture of her in her Ankara print dress with her fake black written off the book, Fugitive Modernites. And so here we go. A seasoned activist and professor of African American history at George Washington University has been pretending to be black for years, despite actually being a white woman from Kansas City.
Suburbs of Kansas.
In a case remnants to Rachel Dolezal, Jessica A. Krog took financial support from cultural institutions such as hold on, Casey. The audio will cut me out when somebody else is okay. All right. This is crazy. Took financial support from cultural institutions such as the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture for a book she wrote about fugitive resistance to the transatlantic slave trade. But according to the Medium Post, allegedly written by Krug herself, her career was rooted in a toxic soil of lies. To an escalating degree this is what they quote her saying, to an escalated degree over my adult life, I have eschewed my life experiences as a white Jewish child in a suburban Kansas City under various assumptions, identities within a blackness that I had no right to claim. First, North African blackness, then U.S. rooted blackness, then Caribbean rooted Bronx black. What is Bronx blackness? But anyway, she wrote. And in Krug's book, Fugitive Modernites, published before her confessions, she writes in her acknowledgments, my ancestors, unknown, unnamed, who bled life into a future they had no reason to believe could or should exist. My brother, the fastest, the smartest, the most charming of us all, those whose names I cannot say for their own safety, within my barrio in Angola in Brazil. God damn, she went in. She went in. All right. I'm gonna start with C.Dot. Since you're a black woman, how do you feel about this professor pretending to be black and selling books while teaching African American studies, etc.?
It's just so much with this that I don't even really know where to start. It's so jam packed. First of all, you're teaching African American studies. I get it. You took that up in school. Fine. That doesn't mean that you can teach it because you've never lived it. That's how I look at it. Because if I'm going to go into my African American class or whatever kind of African American study classes, and I walk in, I see a white teacher, I'm walking back out. Sorry. Because there's nothing that you can tell me. You can read from the history books, but if you can't give me any of your personal experiences, I don't really want to hear anything you have to say. That's one. Two, how did you, because she was a Jew, did she think that she, this is so heavy. This is just so heavy. Everything is just so heavy because you were a Jew and you had your own struggles. Did you think that you could speak on African American history? And then on top of it, you're writing books. My brain is in. It's just everything in my head is just spinning because when I first saw this story, I couldn't wrap my head around the whole situation. They always want to chastise us and talk about how Black women are this, and this, but then you always want to beat us at the end of the day. I can't. I have so much to say and so little to say because at the same time, it's like, seriously? And then people bought your books. People believed in you. That's the thing that really irritates me because you had people that backing you up. You had people believing in you, thinking that you were this Afro. I thought they called her Afro Latina, if I'm not mistaken. In one,
I think she was everything. She said she was North American Black. She said she was Caribbean Black. She said she was in Angola. She said she was in Africa. She went all over the place with it.
Yeah, and then on top of it, it's like, I get it. We come in all different shades, and you can pass for it because, yes, you can be Black, but you can look damn near white.
She said she was from the Bronx.
Yeah, I still want to know what the Bronx Black is. What is the Bronx Black? Like, what's that? What is that?
I guess she was down with Zulu Nation or some shit. I don't know.
I mean,
I think she meant she was poor Black, like Bronx is poor. She was
maybe.
like, I'm not Black, but I'm from the hood Black.
But then they wonder why we get upset. They wonder why we protest because it's sitting here and it's like, we can't have our own identity. You'll sit there and take it from us, but then you get mad at us when we want to come and take it back. But look at you. You were successful being this Black woman, but you are white. You are white. And then it's like, you want to talk about the Black and brown. What were you doing for the cause? I have so many questions for her. If I could talk to her, it's just a lot. So you can let Mohammed or Casey speak because I just can't wrap my head around the whole situation of why.
I think I know. I could add some insight.
Wait. Before you go, I'm gonna say, because you actually have a story with her. So
yeah.
You know her.
No,
I don't know her, but I like to consider myself somewhat of a Black intellectual. I've been in the media. I went to Columbia University. I know a lot of Black writers and Black academics.
Stop right there. Well, you're gonna explain later because you're gonna save the best for last. You have an actual situation with her, but I'm gonna let Mohammed get his rocks off.
More than one. I got two.
Okay, nice. I know Mohammed got something to say about this scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, this shit is just
our resident Black man, the blackest man on the network, Mohammed Shakur. Go ahead. Let's know.
Oh man, I muted myself only for you to mute me. Now I get out, man. Listen, this shit is just fucking hilarious, to be honest with you. I thought there was not gonna be another Rachel, a transracial person, a transracial white person that comes up and insists that they're Black. I wholeheartedly thought it wasn't going to be another one, but come to find out it was another one, and it was an even smarter one because she been doing this shit for fucking years. Like, you're pretending to be a Black woman, which is an insult to every Black woman that I know and I've never even met yet. And I'm talking real Black woman, not trans. And then to top it off, like, you pretended to be like different varying levels of Blackness too. And then you're teaching an African studies course. Funny enough, it's good that you mentioned that, C.Dot, because I remember when I used to attend Fisk University and out in Nashville, Tennessee, and found out that there was an old white dude that was teaching African studies. I refused to set foot in that class in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And what make it so bad is the niggers on that campus was looking at me cross because I wouldn't set foot in that class. I told him straight up, like, honestly speaking, he can teach that shit straight. He's teaching that shit straight out of a book or straight off of a screen. He don't feel those experiences. He know nothing of these experiences. So why the fuck is he teaching African studies? And if this is supposed to be a quote unquote Black college, as people like to say, not a historically Black college, why the fuck is a white dude teaching African studies?
Let's go on the
But
the fake Black woman though. Go ahead.
But yeah, back to the whole fake Black woman situation. It's funny. At the same time, it's not funny, and what it really all boiled down to is we have ourselves to blame for this shit because we don't teach our children African pride.
Wait. I know you're gonna explain, but you said we have us to blame for her doing this?
Yeah, we have ourselves to blame.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, I agree with him. I'll let him know.
I'm not. Keep in mind though, I'm not literally saying that we, like some of us literally like put the battery in her back and told her to do this. In no way, shape, form, or fashion am I saying that. It's just too many of us. We want to talk about having pride in Black culture, but we're really coming time to actually really showcase pride or even discuss the actual pride of what it is to have Black culture. We really don't. If anything, we encompass all the negative. It goes back to what Dr. Amos Wilson has said, and I'm gonna leave it at that about culture. Culture solves problems. Culture fixes people. Whatever it is that don't work for us as a people, we throw it away and we start afresh. When it comes to us as Black people here in the United States, we hold on to a culture that is so vile and so disgusting. And then when we see white people who actually embrace so-called African culture, which is a disrespect, by the way, and it's like, yo, but again, that shit could have been wholly avoided if we really just learn to love ourselves, if we really actually embrace African culture. So that way transracial people wouldn't even have a place to do shit like this.
I mean, I don't think nobody put a stamp on her shit. I don't think nobody knew, but I mean,
There are people who put a stamp on her. She got co-signed by some heavy hitters in the Black academic community.
All right, Casey, put us on. Let us know.
All right, so like I was just scanning at before, like, you know, I've been a journalist. I was a minor in African American studies in college, and you know, I'm a writer. I wrote a book inside the CIC War in Jamaica, so I know a wide range of, you know, Black writers, Black academics, people, you know, who might work for websites and such like that. So I don't know her directly, but we had several mutual friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would see her commenting like all sorts of wild pro-Black, pro-Latino, anti-white, like really anti-white, like fuck the white oppressors, we need to fuck all white people, crazy shit. So there was one point, I have a friend named KZ Lima. He's a very accomplished Black author. He's won all sorts of awards and everything. So I enjoyed it, like engaging on his page, because he would also have other, you know, Black intellectuals. So it was a nice place where Black intellectuals could kind of share thought in a civilized manner.
Right.
So he posted something about Bob Dylan winning the Pulitzer Prize and how that was a bad thing. And I was like, I like Bob Dylan. I think he had some good politically, socially conscious music. He wrote a song about Hurricane Carter. He wrote songs that Black people would cover and inspire people like Bob Marley, Sam Cooke, etc. So I'm like, yo, why are you so mad at that? And she came at me so hard, like, how you capping for this old irrelevant white man? You must be a sellout. I'm in the community protesting. You ain't really Black. And she was really going really hard against me, like bullying me almost. You know what I'm saying?
She said you ain't really Black too?
Yeah, she said I'm not really Black, not really a revolutionary. Like, I'm you know, because I like Bob Dylan and I agree with this white man's music, I'm irrelevant, outdated too. Like, really checking me, like checking my revolutionary quotas. I told her about the book I wrote. And then she was going so hard. And I like to think I'm a biracial expert. And this is my original thing. So usually when a lot of like biracial people are self-hating. So people, the biracial, when they talk so bad about white people, it's like, wow. Like, she was just like, fuck Bob Dylan because he's white. Like, give me a reason. Like, I can understand, like, George Bush so crack, like, fuck him like this, but not, you know, Bob Dylan actually was one of the people who came to the March on Washington with Martin Luther King and did some things for Black people. Wasn't perfect at all. So those people is self-hating biracials, and they feel like that their white side makes them not Black. So in order to compensate for that, they talk mad shit about white people. So I saw her, and normally I don't do this when I'm arguing with people. I don't go on their pages and check, like, but she was just so wild, like disrespectful and like, you know what I mean? And extra. Mm-hmm. I was like, who is this person? So I checked on her. Her name said Jesla La Bambara. You know what I mean? And first, I never met a Latina woman who called herself Jess. If she's Jessica, she goes by Jessica. Never Jess. Jess is like a white girl's nickname for Jessica. So I'm like, Jess? I'm like, I know there's Jess Hilarious, but other than Jess Hilarious, I can't even think of a Black woman who calls herself Jess. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is a little funny. So I go to her page. She looked like she could possibly be either, you know, dark-skinned Jewish, possibly like a quadroon or an octoroon Black, maybe some like super like European identifying Hispanic. And then I'm like, wow, like she's wilding. And then I saw her name, Jessica Krug, Krug. So I'm a journalist. So I'm like, all right, what type of last name is Krug? And she got a Jewish last name. So I called her out on dude's page. I'm like, yo, you're not even Black and you're fronting. This was 2016. And the homie's like, nah, she is, whatever. And he deleted the thread. And I was like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm calling this woman out right here, exposing her. You deleting the thread. She was wild, disrespectful. You know what I mean? To me personally, you know what I mean?
Right.
someone she doesn't even know, just because I say I like Bob Dylan, I'm an evil white enemy to her. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny.
Right. Right.
So many pro-black people were inspired by Bob Dylan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I knew from then, like, I knew from the Facebook interaction something was off with her. You know what I mean? Like, she's not a real black activist. She's too extra, too anti-white, almost COINTELPRO-ish. You know what I mean? Because COINTELPRO would like infiltrate a lot of black organizations, and they'd be like, "Yo, fuck white people, fuck the pigs," like, and they would kill people like Fred Hampton, who would develop the Rainbow Coalition. He was working with white people. They would infiltrate his shit and be like, "Nah, fuck them white people," because they don't want poor people together. So I saw a lot of COINTELPRO-ish in her whole dialect. And I saw her post, and I'm like, how is she a professor talking this crazy shit? Talking all sorts of anti-white shit at a white school. I'm like, if you so pro-black, teach at HBCU, but you out here at a very rich white school that costs $50,000 a year, talking all sorts of pro-black stuff. So I knew she was a fraud since then. And then I would see her on other posts. I would get in other arguments.
You said what year was this you called her out?
2016.
Wow.
2016 when Bob Dylan got the Pulitzer Award. Because I remember what it was about. You know what I'm saying? So I called her out in 2016. And matter of fact, and she would bully me after that. So I stopped even going on homie's page and commenting and sharing my view, because I felt I'd just be, and she would have followers, mad black followers who would be like, yeah, you're a sellout, like following her, like ganging up on me in these arguments. You know what I'm saying? So she obviously had an influence on forming black thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
Through her books, through her position as a teacher. And she was writing for Essence. She had an article written for Essence last week. Everything was all good just a week ago. And it was one of my old coworkers who hired her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and my thing is, this is how, like, in their spectrum, on them comments, I was the unblack one because I didn't conform to their idea of what black thought should be, which was fuck Bob Dylan. You know what I'm saying? And she was the extra super pro-black person because she was going so anti-white.
Right.
So she must be black. She's so anti-white, she must be black. You know what I'm saying? So I think.
Okay, so not to cut you off, I just wanted to ask you this question because I'm not really familiar with spaces like this. So you mean to tell me that she actually did have black people putting batteries
and
on her back?
her and saying, yeah, she's black when I co-signed her, and attacking me on behest of her. And it came to a point where she had a little crew of followers where I didn't even feel comfortable posting on homie's page, which I enjoy having civil discussion with other black intellectuals. Even if they differ with my viewpoints, I like to learn from them, have them learn from me, you know what I'm saying? Without us being blatantly disrespectful or questioning each other's blackness or revolutionary aptitude, you know what I'm saying? So it became an experience where I didn't even want to comment on anything he did because her and her crew of black people would bully me and call me a sellout from the old stuff for liking Bob Dylan.
So
wow,
you said something else happened after that you didn't get to.
Yeah. So after this, I would still see a post on other people's pages. Now I have a friend by the name of Juno Diaz, and Juno Diaz is a very accomplished Latino Dominican author. He's won a Pulitzer Prize, pretty famous, you know what I mean? And there was an incident where a woman accused of being sexually inappropriate. When they dug down to it, he kissed her on the cheek, which is wild. You can't be invading women's spaces. You can't read them. Some women do not want to be kissed. I would not advise any man just to kiss a woman on the cheek. Don't do it. But they try to blow it up like it was rape. And there's a big difference between kissing a woman on the cheek and rape. Not saying like go around kissing a woman on the cheek is cool. You know, don't do that. Like read it. Like some women want to get kissed on the cheek. You know what I mean? That's cool. Some do. But they made a big thing about it. And she was one of the women going hardest against him on Facebook. Like, as a Latina woman, we must stand up against him and get rid of Juno Diaz because I am a Latina and my pride in my country and he is hurting my Latina women. So you got a white woman trying to cancel a very popular, very progressive Latino male. So I would argue with her on that just to, defend my friend. Like, a number of my closest friends is close to Juno. So I'm like, yo, you don't even know the situation. And again, she was calling me like a sexual assaulter, enabler, and insulting me off a situation that she jumped into, had no place jumping into.
Right. What she say again, Casey? How she said it?
Well, as a Latina, we must stand up against Juno Diaz while he oppresses our sisters. Like, she was really wilding at my homie, and he's a good dude. Like, he might have, he's not perfect. He might have misread a sign, and right. Like, I wouldn't want no person kissing me on the cheek. I don't know, like, you know what I mean, like a big auntie or something like that. But I let it happen. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna file no sexual harassment charges against Aunt Bertha for kissing me in 1989 on the mouth. You know what I'm saying? She ain't know that's how she grew up.
All right.
Thank you for putting me on, brother, because again, like I'm usually not informed or I'm not aware of all these things. I I have been around some black intellectuals that did curtail white people in general and whatnot, you know, and cape for them, but this is something that's completely new to me.
I compared it to like her being Tekashi 6ix9ine, and he had the black academic. I'm not even in the black academic mafia. They don't fuck with me like that. They don't invite me to their conventions. They don't offer for me to read them in the journals. I've been putting in work as a black intellectual. I'm not in the black intellectual academic mafia. I don't get invited to no colleges. I don't get invited to write in no journals. They don't even invite me to write for their publications no more after all the work I put in. But this white woman comes in, just off saying anti-white shit. Now she's the hero. She's getting money from the Schomburg. I love the Schomburg. Shout out to the Schomburg. Chadwick Boseman taught at the Schomburg for 9 years before he blew up as an actor. Schomburg is the fact she took from the money from the Schomburg really breaks my heart. That's super deceptive. You're deceiving a historically black institution that has so much importance to black history and the community. And also, Arturo Schomburg was an Afro-Latino. You know what I'm saying? So her whole Afro-Latina, big stick, like totally disrespected Schomburg. Like she should really get the money back. And she's also taking places from real black people. I would love to be a professor at GW. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk. I know about black history. I've read, I've studied. I might not have a PhD or a master's, but I've put in enough research to know a lot to be qualified to teach. You know what I mean? But she's taking jobs away. She's taking funding away. And she's writing for Essence. That could have been another black writer writing for Essence, another black female writer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then to top it all, she's emulating herself as a black woman. So it goes back to what C.Dot had pointed out. Like she took the place of she took the place that many black women could have taken.
All right. So with all that being said, and I know C.Dot has to leave soon. She has a meeting. You know, C.Dot is a career woman. And I want to say that she totally disrespected. She's totally disrespected. I couldn't have said it any better. I'm glad we got this clarity from you, Casey. Thank you for coming on the show. Stay with us though.
Yeah.
Real quick, send me I want to end the show. I usually end the show with like a music video. Send me something from Mankind that will work for this. That will work for this. All right. That's not gonna be flagged too. All right. Something's not gonna be flagged. And with all that being said, she violated. She violated. And let's talk about her for a whole year. Let's talk about her for a whole year. Let's out her. You know what I mean?
Whoa, and we need to out, like she have black enablers too, man. Like they need to be called out. And I see them apologizing. I haven't gotten any apologizes, and I see them really apologizing. But you need to be smarter. Like, how did I know of one Facebook interaction, but you're going to conferences with this person, interacting with them, and you don't know?
Right.
Because you're so blinded by their anti-whiteness, you think they're black. Because they parrot everything you say. You know what I mean? So you assume because they're saying the same things you feel and think about race or whatever, you assume they're black. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of black people do get fooled by that. You know what I'm saying? Even by black people who don't have their best agendas in mind, just because they say fuck white people.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But I want to get to the comments. It's been a minute. Redemption Song 76 says insane right here at GWU. Louisville in the league says Rachel Dolezal 3.0. Louisville in the league says Bronx blackness is a joke. Franchise Katie says I'm every woman. It's it all in me. Middle Lane says Bronx black equals Cardi B.
Bronx Latina.
Yes, equals Cardi B. Virginia Sim says, I bet Michael Rappaport wish he could have done this bullshit. J-Cap said, it's hard enough for a black person to get a job. Now, white people taking the black jobs too, apparently. J-Cap says, fuck what Adele did. This is cultural appropriation.
Shout out to Adele. They got some mean reggae remixes to Adele. So reggae people be singing Adele songs. Jamaican people do a lot of Adele covers. So she can, it's a mutual thing. Jamaican people fuck with Adele too.
Not to mention a lot of reggae songs are country songs. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of your favorite reggae songs are originally country songs, and they
Jamaican culture appropriate everybody. Easy listening, English music, Indian music. So I fuck with Adele. She originally culture appropriated like Aretha Franklin style music, but she put her own flavor to it. You know what I mean?
Does Adele consider herself blue-eyed soul?
I don't know. I think Blue Eye Soul is more like you think of males like Justin Timberlake and Robin Thicke. And she's more of a throwback Amy Winehouse type.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Rather than new R&B.
Mills Lane says they think affirmative action is black people's privilege, similar to the N-word. They gotta have it. Yo, they steal everything. Louisville Lee says, first off, she don't even look black. Come on, people.
I went to the page, bro. I never go on people's pages when I have arguments, but I knew something was off. And I seen the picture and the last name. Like, how you not know? And yo, the funny thing is, her last name is Krug, Krug, but she was telling people it was Cruz, Kruz, like it was a Latino name, but her last name Krug. That's her. She, you know what I mean? Like, I never met a Latino with the last name Krug.
Yo, don't forget, send me that on the inbox right now.
Oh yeah. I got you.
All right. Virginia Sim says white women benefit from affirmative action more than any group. Mills,
that's correct.
Mills Lane says the opposite of Doja Cat. And Redemption Song 76 is laughing at Casey's impression of how she was coming at him. I'm a Latina, you disrespectful. And Brooklyn Honcho, if you're still there, I want to apologize. In the beginning of the episode, we said we was going to talk about the Rochester case, and the fact of the matter is, we started late, so we got to end a little earlier today, and we already don't have C.Dot for the rest of the show, so we're not going to go another hour. But Monday, we're going to get to all the stories we didn't get to today, including the Rochester man who was murdered by the police just for being high and just for their convenience. And I'll just say this off top. If you watch the video, if you heard about the story, it was simply for their convenience. They didn't want to deal with him, and then they didn't value his life, and they put a bag over his head, and they treated him like an animal, and they murdered that man. With all that being said, I found this, and I want to get into finding more stories via social media. You know what I mean, Casey?
Yeah.
And, I found this. I found, she's a mutual friend. We have mutual friends. And I went to her page, and apparently she has a website hosted by Tumblr. And this lady, this woman's name is Millie Tamarez, and she lets people pay her for their white guilt. And she's getting her reparations one way or another. She's not waiting. She getting her reparations. And the page is called whiteforgiveness.tumblr.com. And it reads, my name is Millie Tamarez, and I'll forgive you for your white guilt if you Venmo me. If you Venmo me, this is real. I'm broke as fuck. And if you go through the page, there's a lot of success stories. So so somebody named Austin paid her and says, promoting comedy shows on Facebook during a time that seems very unimportant and inappropriate, but somehow he paid her still. And she says, today's Venmo comes from Austin, who wants forgiveness for promoting his comedy. Oh, I get it now. For promoting his comedy show in the aftermath of Charlottesville. Wow. She got another Venmo from someone named Megan. Megan said, when I was 14, I went to a small theater camp, and they had me sing a reggae-esque song for the final play, costume with a Rasta hat, with fake dreads hanging from it. And I sang the song in a shitty Jamaican accent, and even I knew in the back of my mind that what I was doing was wrong and kind of offensive. Please absolve me of this heinous sin. And she said, today's Venmo comes from Megan. I never met her, but she found me on Twitter. She wants forgiveness for doing a racist caricature of Jamaican people in theater camp. And then another person paid her and said, my favorite basketball player is still John Stockton. Millie says today's Venmo comes from, they didn't want their name out there, who wants forgiveness for having a white man be his favorite basketball player. And the list goes on. She's absolving people like a Catholic priest of their white sins. And you know what?
That's a good hustle.
It's a good hustle, but I think it's a problematic hustle because I think it makes white people feel like they can get rid of something that's way more problematic than just by Venmo. And if this money would go directly to the black community, I'd be a little more, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know where her money's going. And my thing is that I feel like a lot of people is moving towards white people feeling guilty about black people having Black Lives Matter because they don't want to address their economic privilege and the economic situations that keep black people in jail. So they say just, oh, well, I'm not racist, but they don't keep in mind that they might have just gentrified a new neighborhood and moved all the black people out. They might have voted for a politician who's doing mass incarceration of black people. They're supporting a mayor who's condoning police brutality or something. So I feel like it needs to be a systematic thing, and then that people need to realize that it's deeper than black and white, and that there's a lot of race hustlers out there, like Al Sharpton, who, in the name of racism, he'll get mad money. He'll extort a company and say, hey, if you don't hire the National Action Network, we're going to say you're racist. You know what I mean? And they'll pay him money, and that money does not go back to the black community. It goes to Al Sharpton's politics. So it's a big race hustle, and a lot of people are really diminishing the real work of people who are really trying to fight racism by people who are trying to profit off it or profit off the fighting.
Real quick. You mentioned Al Sharpton. Did you see Storm Over Brooklyn, Victorious?
I did.
Okay, you know that's the homie film.
Yeah,
right?
of course, Victorious. Yeah, I've been waiting for it because he's been posting it for the minute. Yeah, I was posting on the page giving congrats. He did a real great job, man. And the archival footage in that movie is amazing. And shout out to the producer, which he did. He did another really important documentary that everyone should check out, right?
Digging at Weldon
Johnson, right?
Weldon Irvine. But what I wanted to ask you was, did you know Al Sharpton got stabbed for the cause?
I know Al Sharpton is an FBI informant. I'm pretty sure he set it up.
Did you hear that story before that moment?
Nah, I don't remember hearing it. I remember hearing him being in the streets, but I don't remember knowing about him being stabbed.
So Mills Lane says the black Israelites have the whites kiss their boots, and
I've seen that too.
And Brooklyn Honcho says, why would a Hispanic feel like she can absorb whites for black? Yeah, I mean, from her last name, I figure you got that from her last name, but she had brown, black skin. So I'm gonna say that even if she is Hispanic, Afro-Latina, you know what I'm saying? And the homie John says, my guy Casey, yep, and Casey, man, I told you send me something that's not gonna get me flagged, man. You sure I'm not gonna get flagged with this one?
Since we're talking about black women, and I feel black women have been disrespected by this by taking their identity. This song is a tribute to black women and their hair. It's called Straight Hair by Mankind, and it is a very positive song. The video is very positive. It's done by MV Gem, my startup music video generator. So all the clips are gifts of black women showing off their natural hair. So I feel like let's praise authentic black women instead of, F her, man. It's funny. It's just funny to me. And I feel like a lot of our black intellectuals need to kind of rethink the way they think of blackness, because that's what allowed them to kind of accept her. You know what I'm saying? But nah, this video, super positive, not getting no one flagged. No, we at Mankind, Mighty Casey, we let all our music for free on the internet. If you want to stream it, put it on Instagram, whatever.
I'm talking about also the visuals though, because using
Nah.
We good? All right, so tell them about your website though, the MVJ.
MVJ, it's music video generator. Again, we talked about black business before. It is a black business with me and John Lee. He's the first African American on the cover of Wired. So any of y'all artists out there, especially independent artists, if you have an independent label and you have a black-owned music business, you know what I mean? We can make a music video for you for free. You just type in keywords. You type in whatever words you feel associated with that video. If you feel it's a fresh, sexy video, you can type that in. If you just want to have a pro-black video, you can type that in. If you want to have streets, if you want to have a video with beautiful women, cars, whatever you want, you just type in those words, and then we have filter effects. You go in there, make videos. We have over 2 million views on YouTube in our World Star, Flat TV, Hip Hop DX. You know what I mean? We're making some moves. So not only use us, and we're not even saying pay us any money. We're just saying what's Kuji Chakalia? That's a very important thing. Cooperative economics. And I feel like not only we talk about boss talk, but if you're a boss but you're not cooperating with other people, you're not going to get anywhere. So I really want to cooperate with other black business owners, especially in the technology film, especially in the music realm. You know what I'm saying? So mvgen.com, feel free to reach out to me. Casey Gain at Gmail. Casey Gain is my Facebook, and I'm definitely trying to work with young entrepreneurs trying to make a change in technology, music, and as well as social activism. You know what I'm saying?
Let me put it in layman's terms. MVGen, GEN.
Yep, mvgen.com.
is the website you can go to make a music video out of actual GIF files. You just put in what you want to see,
like whatever keywords, and then we'll find GIFs that match your keywords, and then you could also there's also the filters and effects. You make a black and white, speed it up, do the same stuff you might even have in Final Cut Pro. You know what I mean, for transitions.
Yo, Casey, thank you for putting us on, man. As far as that Jessica Cruz situation, personally for me, I will say you pretty much confirmed my suspicions with so-called black intellectuals, because it's like, you know, I get it. You know, a lot of them have some really great academic minds, and that's a good thing. But it seems as though a lot of them really just like to discuss shit. They like to just write about shit. None of them really want to put boots on the ground or exact some real kind of change in the community. It's like they like to get paid off for talking about this shit.
Right. And I see
Basically.
all these black intellectuals, and they seem to be so pro-black, but none of them go to HBCUs. None of them is going to take that $30,000 pay cut to teach at a HBCU. They're going to teach either, you know, rich white people or the few black people lucky enough to get into those schools about blackness. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, they act like, and the issue is also too, and it's in a lot of places, in a lot of groups, and in the black intellectual academic community as well. It's like, if you break from their mainstream thought, if you say maybe, hey, I think black people can be racist, I'm like, no, black people cannot be racist because of this, that. You're not even black. I'm like, well, sorry for stating my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really tolerant of separate thought. And if you have a thought that challenges a lot of their views, you're not black, you're a coon, you know what I mean? You're white or whatever. So I feel it is indicative of some of the problems in the black academic community that they were infiltrated so well. I compared it before to like Tekashi 6ix9ine and Treyway. Like the black intellectual mafia, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be, you're not supposed to get infiltrated. You should have learned by COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened before. And that's why the Black Power movement was also infiltrated at the academic level. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you had a lot of divide and conquer. That's how they were able to have the Black Panthers fight with other black groups, because people like her, like she was so divisive. Like she was just calling black people out and starting beef, trying to start beef between black men and black women, you know what I mean? Trying to start beef between black people and other black people who didn't think in the exact same way, rather than having a civilized discussion, questioning their blackness. So she was, I think we definitely got to be really careful after COINTELPRO and with people like this. And just because someone says what you believe or what you think doesn't mean they are what you are. It's more likely someone who challenges what you think, right? Right. They're more likely to be black because they're free thinking. Anybody can parrot an idea and say, oh, this is what these black intellectuals think. I'm just going to say what they think. And then they're going to give me likes and retweets. And then anyone who doesn't think what they think, I'm going to diss the hell out of them. Even if they are black, I'm going to be a white person and tell someone they aren't black because I've aligned myself with this black academic way of thinking.
You okay?
I was going to say, as far as, not to cut you off, I'm just going to say this last thing. I was going to say, as far as that energy is concerned about how, like, you know, they had that one-dimensional way of thinking, I kind of saw that coming because doing research, W.E.B. Du Bois, for example, he is by far one of the greatest, if not the greatest academic minds that came from us, but he was as every bit as bourgeoisie, and even John Henry Clark, I even spoke about him. He put that man on so much knowledge, but the conversation went left when W.E.B. asked him, you know, what degree does he have or what school did he went to? And John had to let him know, my dude, I didn't go to school. And he also even stated, that's my issue with W.E.B. Du Bois, is he don't care how smart you are, how intelligent you are. If you don't have a degree, you are not worth talking to.
And that's why he dissed Marcus Garvey. W.E.B. Du Bois was not only beefing with Booker T. Washington, understandably so. Booker T. Washington was being used by the former slave-owned states to be their black representatives. But Booker T. Washington also represented the working class, the farmers, and his vision for black people was let's get our own farms and start our own businesses. And Du Bois's vision was talented tenth. We need to get these smart, intellectual black people to lead us. And if you look at what Du Bois did, the talented tenths, they did themselves. They didn't get back to the black community and live up to the black community. They got their own jobs. Course. They might have become black academics, like and co-signed Jessica Cruz, but they wasn't going back to the hood and lifting up the hood like he assumed they would, right?
Exactly.
But in the defense of Du Bois, by the end, he aligned himself with Marcus Garvey's Pan-African vision, which he dissed before, and he moved to Ghana and he died in Ghana. So he did kind of progress from his elitism and became more shared some kind of Marxist views, which aligned himself with more of the proletariat in an intellectual way, not in a I'm really in the streets way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was gonna say, as far as WEB's history is concerned, the reason why he even turned into the so-called Black revolutionary that he died at 93 years of age was because of the fact that he got outed by the very white people he was protecting and he was rocking with.
Well, the NAACP, along with the boys, I mean, the NAACP was founded by rich white people, along with.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
My bad.
Like my man Lorvell in the league said, the morning rant has gone off. Well,
welcome to the world's blackest show. With a biracial, take that, Jessica Lambambara. I am black.
So this has been a little preview for Mohammed X Shakur show to come. Casey Gang, you see what I'm Mighty Casey, homie. I'm calling you.
You're doing great, man. You're a great host, and I remember I did tell you years ago after hearing Tax Don't See what he's doing. I felt like you have a great voice. You're organized. You're a leader. I felt like, yo, you could really be a great podcaster. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing it, man. I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, man. I love you, kid. But yo, check it out on some G shit. I know you on a different time zone, but I need you to appear more often up here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no problem. Yo, I'm up early. I'm early. I'm an early riser, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to go time pretty much.
And they feeling you on here, man. They feeling you. They said I got Redemption said she gonna follow you.
Nice.
Got some people said classic show. And Redemption, yesterday we was on once again, let's plug my brother Mills Lane. We was in the chat room for American Culture Topics in Mills Lane, and Bob Marley came up, and I said that most likely the CIA was behind killing him. And if you want to read a book on it, Casey has a book called
Inside the CIA's Secret War in Jamaica, and the black intellectuals don't be up on it like they promote Jessica Krug. I don't know why.
And Casey's book details about how the CIA definitely infiltrated Jamaica and how most likely they were behind Bob Marley's murder.
It was an assassination attempt. Like there's the cancer, and there's some theories about the cancer. I didn't really write about it, but wasn't sure. But there was an assassination attempt on him. 76. He didn't die. He got shot here. Rita got shot in the head. That was done by minions of the CIA who went on to become the Shower Posse.
Right. Yeah. So introduce this video again.
Yo, this is a group I manage. I really love these guys. I'm really honored. It's like if I was able to manage a Tribe Called Quest of De La Soul, like they really brought back my love for hip hop. Major Brothers, Gorilla and Nate, really intellectual, really bring a.
Hold on, my fault. I want you to introduce it before we play. Redemption said, "Is the book on Amazon?"
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Inside the CIA Secret War in Jamaica.
Inside the CIA secret war on Jamaica.
Yeah,
my fault. Introduce the song and
the song is Straight Here by Mankind. It's off a really dope album called Juneteenth that I'm featured on. It came out before the Juneteenth mess, but it's a kind of like a concept album dealing with the slave era transitioning into freedom. And this song is called Straight Here, and it deals with Black women's hair and how it's really beautiful, and they don't need to get perms, but also Black women's ownership of their own hair. Do you get a perm if it's beautiful, whatever makes you feel good? So since Black women were so disrespected by a pretender, let Black men love you. Don't let white women tell you that Black men don't love you. Don't, please.
I was perfect. Counted the freckles on my nose in the dark chocolate he suckled. I suffered under loving him, but it was so good. I swear it was so good.
And this has been the Morning Rant, the blackest Friday.
And they were like endless pastures and staring off cliffs to freedom land. They were like in eloquent soliloquies. They were like Negro spirituals, beautiful and pained and everything. He said he loves me nappy. Early morning, wild eyes and free, how I was meant to be. Said he smelled the sweat and determination in my fro before I burned it out. Before the grease took my worried brow, what are we now? He wonders since I don't look the same.
Madam C.J. Walker. Yeah. Yo. Chat. Madam C.J. lace you with a perm and you mad cause I ain't say a word. But would it be wrong to say that you were perfect how you were? Let's get it straight here, we going through it and they should be concerned. Let's get it straight here, we going through it and they should be concerned. Mankind. Nah, where'd your afro go? You were perfect how you were, girl, and that's no joke. There's no need to eliminate your kinks and curls to assimilate your nappy hair and your pretty face. Let's get it straight hair, baby. You don't need straight hair to butterfly flutter where my stomach lies. With a time to be alive, it's been a great year. We finally free and they scared. I couldn't wait to play up in your scalp, but it seemed like everything changed since we made it from the south. We used to stay up in the house. You was shy, no patience for the crowds, no hatred. I'm just trying to figure out why you rather comb it down and pick it out. Cause if you did it for me, just know it's something I could live without. But if you did it for you, that's all I need to know. You're all I need to grow. Keep me close, even though Madam CJ lace you with the perm, and you mad cause I ain't say a word.
Whoever said long hair don't care is a bald-headed liar. You're bald cause your head was on fire. I see the tracks of your tears, and it's tearing me apart. I can't relax, I wear it on my heart. I wear it like my skin, it's wearing on me then. Started losing my hair, I'm like, where do I begin? Sometimes I'm full of shit, it's clear that I depend on your support. I saw your hair and thought it was the end. Let's get it straight here. I dread falling out with you, I'd rather lock it down. Natural beauty, you should rock the crown. She said, stop throwing rocks at my throne. The hair that I rock is my own. I brushed it off, touched the soft, really checked it out, got turned on, about to sweat it out. Mankind.
They asked John, why your fucking skin so light? Cause Pops raped Mom by the shed one night. And my mom's was a slave and my Pops was white. Who thought black pussy was his goddamn right? Everybody say I look just like him. Same eyes, same nose, but I'm bright light skin. How could he disown me, knowing that he owned me? Plus I got a sister too, see I ain't the only. Tragic mulatto, that's a horse and a donkey. That ain't me, I'm a nigga in a honky. I ain't got a lot, but I got a pot to piss in. Plates is for the boogers, pans is for the shitting. When they eatin' is the only time I'm grinning. And when they hurlin', that's the only time I'm winning. Took a pistol from my pops, gave that shit to my man. Now we got him a gun, and he got him a plan.
Mankind.
Yo.
Mankind.
I was working in the field for the boss, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on the horse?
I swear that Jehovah on the cross, I really seen a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse? Well, this might feel a boss with remorse, but I think I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I wasn't even sipping on the sauce, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse. A nigga on a horse. Check. Yo, about to dive off the deep end. Black jockeys trying to win the Preakness. Yeah, I'm seeing sounds, this is synesthesia. A little reefer, a little pizza. Napoleon complexes, Little Caesars. From the pits of Giza to where the pizza leans. Lady Gaga, little monsters. Zombies bleeding, deceased carcasses. Chopped up so it's easy to eat like read 'em and weep. Bet on that like the Belmont. Cell block hell, Mattel props. Van Gogh leaving them shell-shot black jockeys trying to win Kentucky derbies. That's the charm fucking early. Crack a dawn, orange juice trying to duck the scurvy. Otherworldly, no alarm clock. Yup, I'm up as soon as the sun alerts me like, here comes the sun, here comes the number one gunners on the block. Mankind, 101, son of none other than the mother son. All the time like the horse, all I think run and run. That and only if I had another gun. They divide, make it back, they could add, they subtract. Took my life, I'm just trying to take it back. What is love? What the fuck is love?
Mankind. Yo, Heard they trying to get a clue, cause the clan can't scout me. I ride like the wind to the end of the county. Somebody told me that they saw my picture with a bounty. I told them that the eagle and the hawk them surround me. By the blood of God, bloodhounds never found me. Now I'm a wolf and my wolf pack rowdy. Howl at the moon, devour and consume. Get a gut feeling when your bowels start to move. What a rush, legion of doom. Doomsday preaching at noon. Prophesy since the seed in the womb. It's a heaven's plate wedding day. Dynamite sticks in the wedding cake. Got a lit fuse about to detonate. Let us pray in war paint. Red in my eyes, determined to live. Live free, ready to die. Mankind. I was working in the field for the boss, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on the horse?
I swear that Jehovah on the cross. I really seen a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse? Well, this might feel a boss with remorse, but I think I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I wasn't even sipping on the sauce, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
Nigga on a horse, nigga on an elephant, nigga winning wars, nigga in a roadster, nigga in a Porsche, nigga in a spaceship, nigga with the force, a nigga with a pen beat, a nigga with a sword, a nigga with an attitude, nigga with awards. One thing I ain't is a nigga with a boss, so I smile every time my niggas up in the sauce, mankind.
Mankind, Cactus Jack, you love mankind. Yeah. Black bodies in the water, in a place where they cannot float. White folks looking at me like you can't get in my boat. Get in my boat. Black bodies in the water, in a place where they cannot float. White folks looking at us like you can't get in my boat. Get in my boat.
Mankind. As much as I gave, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, 40 acres in a mule, 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 40 acres in a mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' crazy. Like trick, you gon' crazy. You know your deficit is decadent. Poor souls, you were never rich. Unseasoned, uneven. Odds are you done leading. You've only one cheating, is the sun season. Melanated love bug Starsky, wild style wildlife safari, manual labor party, party affiliations, lobbyist litigation, ungodly, God body divinations, divine non-deliberations, deliver us from Satan, expedited, deliver us from waiting, it's overdue, deliver us a payment, cash on delivery, delivered to the last of a living breed. How much? Enough to last till infinity. The question that I ask of my enemy, remember me? If you gave as much as I gave to you, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, 40 acres in a mule, 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 40 acres in a mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' crazy. Like trick, you gon' crazy.
Yo, fluid as the sweat on my brow. I was riding a wave, just another head in the crowd. Hesitant, slave to the regiment, off lettuce, head in the clouds. Brand new testaments, medicine vows, sedatives for the predicate felons involved in drug peddling. In 1 week, they make less than 1,000, but put their lives on the line. They mind state like grind all the time, fine dine, fuck whining. Bust guns, fuck thotties, hug blocks, bust shotties, fuck cops. One time try and stop me, but I ain't dying, I ain't trying to hear why I do this or why I'm firing this 9 at you kids. Why I'm wildin' while my mind is ruthless. Why I'm crying while I ride the stupids. It's something you did. You just gave me mine, but you didn't.
As much as I gave to you, girl, you gave as much as I gave to you. 40 acres in the mule, 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 40 acres in the mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me.
Hey yo, you can catch me riding through the town as it slowly morphs. Old Brooklyn, every corner got that holy cross. Slow motion in the sections, late old ladies cross. Salute they came before, knew you from baby drawers. There's new money on the block, I see Mercedes, Porsche. A couple regulars, but these niggas high level developers. Fuck your offers, come at you sideways. No level up, I'm copping me some property. You're probably some poppy seed farms. Like fuck it y'all, I need me a side hustle. Sell bagels to Jews, cable to Fox News. Look who's coming to dinner, where everyone's got a seat at the table, but not you. Word to Shirley, baby. Reverse the spell, trying to turn me crazy. I'm getting out, yeah, I'm buying in. I'm selling out, going roll, going try my hands. Bitch, better try again.
Boogie down, bad boy, Basquiat.
Yeah.
Chat.
This is serious here.
Mankind.
Once upon a time up on this mic.
Mankind.
We really working on what they write.
Money, holes, and clothes. Blood smoke coming out the nose. It's all a nigga knows.
Chat.
We never cross.
Mankind.
We never go call.
Mankind. Cactus Jack, new love. Mankind. Chat. I said a hip hop, a hip a big papa. I love it when they call me witch doctor. Dr. Dre or Dr. Oz. Dr. J, modern times. Dr. King meets Dr. Spot. Writing rhymes, this the life and times of Scott LaRock. That at 25, same age, Papa shot. We in the same age of boom bap. Boogie down, bad boy, Basquiat. Crack cocaine, Kurt Cobain, Kakarot. Fusion of rap and rock. iPhone, Macintosh. Black Lives Matter, black astronauts. People saying back in my day, we ain't have a rock. We ain't have to question if the president was gonna be black or not. As for mankind, this a fusion of Shaq and Nas. Ali mixed with a rap LeBron Quali. My deep vagabond riding on a satellite, passing times for the bragging rights half the time, mankind.
Never cross over. We never go commercial. I'll never cross over. I'll never cross over. I'll never cross over. I'll never cross over. We never go commercial.
I said a hip hop #1 chief rocker, Dougie Fresh to death beatboxer, stick and move, hit the groove, block parties, Bacardi Dark, Park Jams made your body rock, don't stop till you get enough, rock steady, crack rock made the block heavy, had to grow up fast, hot stove cooking blow on gas, it's electric, Grandmaster Flash had the message, Grandmaster Cass was a weapon, South Bronx veteran, Black Power ex-con Edison, train cars, bomb elegant, Mayor Koch calling us all terrorists, more I declare war rhetoric, for soul rebels, the rap revolution, next phase black evolution, 2 turntables and an iron mic, mic check, chin check with the right left, mama said knock you out.
Once upon a time up on this mic, MCs be really working on what they write.
Money, holes, and clothes, blood smoke coming out the nose, it's all a nigga knows. We never cross over. We never go commercial. I'll never cross over. I'll never cross over.
This bitch. Bitch gon' block me on Instagram. Hey yo, gals. Hey fucking bitch gon' block me on Instagram. Talk about yo real shit. I don't even know what the bitch was talking about. Bitch just blocked me. I'll take that one, gal. I'll take that one. Yeah. But yeah, man. Ain't none of y'all niggas fucking with me, man. Y'all know it. Everybody know it. And if you don't know it, real recognize real. So if you can't see I'm that nigga, what are you? I'm the bomb digging in the dollar bag of Doritos. Had it in it over your head, every ever dinosaur. Sorry I ain't cold once I crawl in your jaw, but you still on my IG, your ass fat as fuck. Metal, clapping at the room, cops, buttlows, fucking fuck y'all, spit it y'all. Mutated Zulu warrior on the juice. Coon of his news, dude, you in the coop. Be more accent, I do what I do. You was sipping on the soup, I was ripping at the roof. 4 years later, look, oh, you don't hit my line, I'm not fucking with you. Who? I'm back, new in the proof. If you come and get the crew, bang, zoom to the moon, look at proof. My new Timberland, chartreuse. I don't really know the color, but I think that shit blue. Couple YouTubes, think I'm blue. Got dropped from my deal, but at least that's over. Niggas said it's over for me, that shit was funny to me. Yeah, y'all heard nigga first, y'all gotta fuck with me. That shit Sicilian, shot my nigga Hilly. Told me get revenge like Marcus Aurelius. Jolly G Willigans, I'm black and militant. If it's not nigga shit, I do not feel it shit. Y'all say I'm ignorant, I know I'm brilliant. Smarter than y'all, probably just hit this shit. Smarter than Nicholas Tesla, Albert Einstein, Dr. Robotnik, man, all of them niggas shit. I'm just the shittiest, I'm just the illest. Can try if you might, but you'll never get rid of me. Never, never, ever, ever, forever. I'll be clever, ever see, letting my essence bless. Less melanin issues, that's just the peppersy. Etches, sketches, second genesis, Tyler Quali, such the etches. Getting off my erection with syphilis, been the frustration. I've been through my pistol, my instrument of destruction. The Asian and chaos, I love it, I'm bugging. It's nothing to fuck with, it's either a diss or your face, cause it's nothing. Got a bunch of people on my fuck list, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, girl, already fuck the bitch, smoke, must have said the strip it all, get out on till I'm fuck. Silence. Fuck everybody, I don't need nobody, I'ma do it my way, my nigga, y'all just, we got it. When I started rhyming, shit was only just a hobby, niggas trying to set a corner and they never let it have it on. Now when niggas trying to show the hoes on my phone, I'ma finish right now. Gold, my piranha, all fangs like Barack off the top road. Chopping nigga brain like the Tonka, I'm a zeitgeist, is xenophobe, zealous at the zygote. 11 chain, rocket flaming lion out the Congo. Anaconda swinging on my thighs, rubber live boys alive. Why you mystic with the mind of a cyclone? An autism, bit the Frankenstein that combines all the chocolate shit delicious and the witches pot of styrofoam. Switch it with a little gin and bit of citizens, the funny critics. Know that I'm the nigga, but they won't admit it. I'ma kill him in a million ways, just kidding, but it's only one way to die, and I'ma live forever. I will not crumble, I will not crumble, I will not crumble. Fire! I'm gonna rumble, I'm gonna rumble, I'm gonna rumble. I will fly, I will not crumble, I will not crumble, I will not crumble, I will not. I'm gonna rumble, I'm gonna rumble, I'm gonna rumble. I will fly.
Preacher, but there's a full point behind it. It has to be so strong that when people hear it, they can't stray from it. You understand me? Yeah. Because only the truth can't die. You can tell 50 fucking lies different ways. But I guarantee you one thing, the truth, only one way you can tell it. You understand that? I totally understand you, Dad. Alright. So, that's all that wrong. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you too, Pop. Sorry, your city's so freaking cold.
I'm on fire right now, fuck nigga. I had the biggest comeback, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all trying to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga.
Wrote this with my eyes closed, or rose in Moscato. It's
Intuition, inner visions flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I begin if I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with dollars. Say no to CashApp, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. I spoke gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky close. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tassels, those the Randy Macho. Goggles, Ferragamo, condos big as Costco. I popped the rhino, then she swallowed like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gaucho. Rebel, outlaw, reckless, vato, ghetto, desperado. Aim the Draco, eating tacos, take your breath like tacos. Adjacent to Van Gogh, I'm chasing my shadow. The pain is the shackle, embrace it for battle. In the gym for 7 weeks, I feel like Boris Kojo. I mean Cujo with a new hoe, sober watching Kuso. With my old hoe, I forgot I fuck my hoes in duos. Football throws in 2 hoes, loopholes out with pool. That piece of coupon for designer, Gucci coat was 2-tone. School old Parasuco, shoot like Tony Kukoc. Bitch, I'm a Samson, no Delilah, put that on my tombstone. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gauchos.